I know.
Going hard in the paint over there.
I cut it.
You cut it. I'm talking about the curl.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the bangs.
Oh, you didn't have bangs before?
That's so crazy. Oh my God, Tom. Are you kidding me?
I never would have known.
That's so crazy.
I never would have known.
Bangs. These are bangs. But you
Well,
know
let's
what?
go.
Let's
I like
talk about them. I regret them.
Why? Is it just change?
I don't know if you remember, but when I first started here,
Yeah.
I had these bangs. You probably don't remember.
I didn't realize you did or didn't have bangs.
Yeah, so I had these bangs when I first started here, and I was like, wow, like, I miss them. They were such a good time, you know, like,
and now they're
good style.
you.
And now I'm like, I feel like that era of my life is gone and past. Because when I got them done, I was like, usually I feel so like, oh my gosh, about my hair. And I've like done crazy stuff to my hair, like chopped it off, like blunt bob, like gone from like down to my butt to like up here, like all these
But you're not feeling this one.
No, this one immediately got in the car and I was like, we got to grow them out.
Literally, we're driving away from the salon.
Yeah.
I got to change.
She did a great job though. Don't get me wrong. She's a great hairstylist.
We're not trying to put her on blast.
No, but it's just not for me now. It's not for me anymore.
It's very interesting. We all evolve and change. Although I have had the same haircut since I was, oh my God, when did I first get this cut? This would have been probably like my senior year in college. I used to have shoulder length hair, believe it or not. These are facts.
What?
Yeah, but like you're probably thinking like where it like droops on my shoulders. It wasn't like that. It was like down to here probably. Oh, that looks dope.
Thank you.
Everybody's got cool hair today but me. What's going on?
Gotta switch it up.
I've never seen you do your hair like that before.
You know?
That's
I like
cool.
them.
Thank you.
They're cute.
Facts.
They're full bench.
I'm so bored with my hair. So unfortunately, this is it. This is all she got.
You would never grow it out?
I tried. So I tried growing it back out in this probably would have been mid to late 20s.
Okay.
It just looks so stringy now. It looks horrible.
So even if you put a little product in it, you know?
I don't know if there's enough product in the world. Look, maybe now that, so like you can put like carbohydrate directly on your hair.
What?
Yep.
Okay.
So anyway, is it true or is it just TikTok true? That I don't know. But by the way, welcome everybody. This is like the worst beginning to a show of all time. But nonetheless, what is up, everybody? It is good to see you guys here. Thank you for joining us. This is the Tom Bilyeu Show, everybody. We do it live with you guys in the community. We are about that life. We are now, if you guys remember, on Friday was the first time. We are now going to be separating out the live portion where we're hanging out with you guys from the final show. Drew is lopping it off once we put it live.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you, Eric. So that we can, oh my God, is this the light?
Yeah. Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Chat. We're going to know when you have something to say. I just have to figure out where the best place to put this is. Look at that. Look at that. Go. Is that just a test?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm trying to see if I could do a different color. Because like maybe one day we'll do like something where it's like blue means something.
That's
or,
really
you know
smart.
What I mean? Like,
that is really smart. We should absolutely do that. Chat, cast your votes. We need a color system.
know if
Red, though, is like immediately I would like to interrupt.
yeah, but I can't reach it now that you moved it over there.
But you gotta be.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to change my setup here.
There you go.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Rios.
Nice.
All right. So the whole point of that is to let you guys know that there is a flow to this show. And it will go like this. The beginning is pure interaction with you guys. So we're here for you. Just want to chat, hang out. And then as we get closer, I originally thought that it was going to be like these hard transitions in the show prep. It is not going to be like that. But as we get closer to the must film time, which today, I haven't asked Drew what his plan is. But by the way, I like that jacket and the hoodie combo is really nice.
Thank you, sir.
That we are going to be, I have to be on camera live for Impact Theory University Business Edition at noon. So we certainly have to be wrapped by like 11:55 just to not make it stressful. So by 11, we have to have finished with the intro, meaning speaking it into a camera, like the absolute latest. So anyway, that'll be the flow. And is that comfortable for you? I'm perfectly happy to push team meeting, but 4 hours is the setup for this. So
that works.
All right.
I'm really excited to see what's popping off in chat. Ooh, by the way, chat, we put something on our community post. If you have any futuristic AI theories, we're doing an impact theory like challenge. We're trying to see put your best sci-fi writer hat on. Let's see how deep you can go, how dark you can go. We don't want like, yeah, there's going to be robots. We want like, no, 30, 40, 50-year theories that you have. We got some PhDs in the chat who gave us a whole dissertation. Hers was my favorite so far, but so there's no bad ideas. We're doing like video submissions. Check out our community post so you can submit.
I like it. I haven't heard about this one. Which is your favorite submission so far?
That was the basic services one.
Can you give me a punch? I haven't seen it.
So that one is basically everybody thinks of UBI, but instead of them giving you actual money, they're going to give you services. So like you'll have free healthcare, you'll have free taxis and things like that, but it won't be an exchange of like money anymore. So it's like, that's kind of like the post-capitalist. I'm like, okay, that makes sense because robot to robot, that economy should be free theoretically.
Yeah.
But
it's going to be interesting to see what we do, because if you localize the power with the government for all of these basic services, which is what everybody is going to want to do, you are going to create a very dystopian reality very fast, because the government is so ridiculous. So meaning they do not know how to do things efficiently. They are not incentivized via what we'll call economic pressures, but really it's evolutionary pressure. Like, this is bad and you will lose your job. Oh, Jesus, I better get good. And then also, let's call it the ambition theory, that there is something, it really is a largely male phenomenon, but men trying to get laid, women being the gatekeeper of sexual access to get with a woman, men will do the craziest shit, including invent robots and rockets that you can catch with chopsticks, because Elon on another timeline just can't get laid. But because he is so, was that agreement? Because he is so rich and successful, because it's not like dad handed him that money. Dude, he can get like, not any woman, because let me tell you, some women just don't roll like that, but he can get a lot of women that otherwise a man of his looks and personality would not be able to land. And God bless it. That's what life is all about. In terms of the human experience, is very much that. So when you give it to the government and just say, government, take it away, they tend to derange very quickly, which is what we're living through right now. Is chat dead, or did we just not scroll to the bottom?
Chat is not dead.
Okay, because on my side, it is the same.
Oh,
there we go. All right, sorry, chat. I wasn't acknowledging. I was like, damn, are we alone over here? But we had just not scrolled to the bottom. I know you said no robots, but I've honestly started to have the fear of Russian robots knocking down doors. Don't worry about Russian robots. Worry about Chinese robots. Chinese robots really are going to knock your door down if we're not very careful. So yes, today's episode, by the way, Drew, I think we already have the heartbeat, and that is Elon Musk's tweet about the event horizon. If you guys are not paying attention to what Grok 3 is doing, it is crazy. It is crazy. The coding is nuts. I literally was having a moment this weekend. I don't know how else to explain other than equal mixture of thrill and dread of it, what AI can do and how fast it is improving is incredible. But the thought of having to keep up with it, to even just know what's going on, is terrifying. It literally feels like the amount of time I put into learning how something works means I'm not keeping up with the latest advancement. So the mere act of deploying something, like saying, okay, we're going to do this thing, the time it will take you, let's say 6 months, the time it will take you to do that, you will have lost track of what's actually happening. And so it's going to be these really weird moments of, you're going to shoot your shot. It's going to take you 6 months. You're going to be like, okay, I get where this is going, and I'm going to be able to make an incredible thing with this. It's going to take you 6 months to do that thing. It's going to blow up. You're going to reap all the benefits. It's going to be incredible. But someone else will have literally, bless you,
thank you,
a week later, taken another shot, and then culture will burn through what you did, and then they'll move on to what that next person did because they're a week more advanced than you. But AI will be moving so fast that that week will really matter.
Yeah.
And if you try to keep up with it while you're developing your thing, then you're going to fall behind, because now instead of taking you 6 months, it takes you 7 months. And that 4 extra weeks, your tech is no longer relevant. Oh my God, it's going to be so fucking crazy. So looking at the game development, and this obviously hits very close to home for me because we're trying to develop a game. It is crazy. It is crazy. So anyway, I've got a hard thesis on what I'm going to do to combat this, but I got to spend some time with it before we go too crazy. And King Ted, I saw you in there, but it went by too fast. I couldn't see what you said. Axel, what is the best way to keep up with all the AI knowledge? Honestly, if you're not on X, you're not keeping up with anything. X is just where the information comes fast and furious. You will be up to the minute. Andy Y, game changers. Need context. Vision. Oh, this is just playing pre-recorded videos? No, Vision, we are live. What is up? We see you this very minute. I am live, Vision. I'm not sure what words coming out of my mouth if you think that this is not live. I'll try to stop.
Can we call out this message from the Gamer Boneless?
Please, let's do it.
It said, I like the content, but you guys sound a bit naive, or I'm just too cynical. I don't know if the information is true we get from the government in general.
Okay, so first of all, I want to shout out you nice for zeroing in on people that are being critical. So chat, we will face criticism head on. So by all means, bring it. Okay, so I welcome any challenge. It is self-evident to me that this is what life is. You look up in the night sky and you see a bunch of dots. You connect those dots into constellations. The constellations are made up. It is your best effort to make sense of the dots that you see in the sky. But by creating those constellations in your mind, it allows you to position them and watch the stars move throughout the night. If you watch the stars move throughout the night in a meaningful enough way, you can circumnavigate the globe in the middle of the ocean with no reference to land. That is fucking magical. So what I'm trying to do is draw constellations. The constellations are not real. And that's what you're picking up on as naivete. That the story I'm telling you, you can tell isn't quite right, but it's allowing me to navigate the ocean and circumnavigate the globe. So even though it's not real, it has high utility. Utility is my bag. There it is, chat.
Ipso facto.
Ipso facto.
Papa Gurkha says, did you ever see the movie Soldier with Kurt Russell?
No.
He sounds familiar, though.
Kurt Russell. Maybe if it was like back in the 90s or something, but it did not stick to my ribs because I don't know what it is. Is this stream about money? Singularity Kitchen, that is one of our beats. So there are 5 things that we cover voraciously, and those are finance, future tech, world affairs and culture, politics, and I always forget one no matter where I start, Drew. I always forget one. Business, thank you. That was the last one. There it is. Skills have utility. Ipso facto. Yeti Bandit, these are facts. Matthew, Pokemon spelled incorrectly, games. Virtual spelled incorrectly, eggs. I don't know where we're going with that. It's an awesome movie, says Chris Bro. I'm going to change film. Let's go, Clear Glass. I'm here for it. Is this a repeat? No, it is not. Actually, what's happening this morning? Chat, you've never seen me wear the shirt ever in your life.
I have new hair.
I've never worn the shirt. Yeah.
Yeah, wait.
Of all episodes.
We're all different.
You nice has new hair. I've got a new shirt. Drew's got new hair. What's going on? Chat, I'm even saying your names. You can see it going by. I don't know what's happening. How did become so knowledgeable? Warren, God, my ego wants there to be a missing word, which is you in that, but I will tame myself and say I don't know exactly what you're talking about.
Scroll up. Can you, Eric? There was a good one. That
does AI has witchcraft?
The government employee one, Yeti Bandit. That was going crazy on my timeline this week.
All right, hold on.
I got it. The email to government employees asking for 5 things they did last week is a Rorschach.
Oh, this is on.
Steelman, the opposing
that's been
side?
going crazy on my timeline.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, it's interesting, Yeti Bandit. Which side do you think I'm on? I'm probably way too predictable on this one. So, the side that I'm on is I don't understand why people are freaking out about this. This is not a dick move. I don't get the aggro over it. Maybe the one thing I will say is if you sent that post closing time on a Friday, expecting people to read it over the weekend, that is not necessarily a dick move. It's just nonsensical. So putting that out on a Friday and saying, hey, I'm assuming you're going to read this on a Monday morning. Please make sure that you start your day by putting out a repeat episode. Very funny, Caleb. putting that out and expecting people to get back to you by EOD Monday, yeah, sure. Like that makes all the sense in the world. I don't get how people are afraid to be quote unquote held accountable to actually doing something. If you don't think that people need to be held accountable to doing something, like what the fuck planet are we on here? They are taking your tax dollars to pay them to stay home. I don't understand what math people are running. Okay, steel man the other side. So that would go something like this. These people are working very hard, and you coming in as an overlord and saying, first of all, I don't work for Elon Musk. So some guy outside the government, a non-elected bureaucrat, is asking me to justify my existence, which is only going to stress me out and make me worry that I'm about to lose my job, which is going to make me perform worse. And I have a chain of command. And if those people want to know what I'm doing, of course, I will be more than happy to tell them. But some unelected bureaucrat billionaire who's not even paying his fair share of taxes, he's trying to tell me whether I'm doing a good job or not. No, fuck that, hard pass. It's going to look something like that. You lost me at government working hard. Clear glass. I simply said there's going to be the steel man at the other side. Is intelligence substrate independent? Curtis, God damn it, that's a good question. I will say no. Hit that red light. There it is.
Okay.
Give it to me.
We have a super chat from Truth Devin.
Let's go.
Super chat.
Let's go. Well worth the red light.
Thank you. It says, Tom, how do I toughen up mentally to suffer for my goals? Any book recommendation for me to learn how to handle mental fatigue? I deal with mental fatigue easily. And thank you, Truth Devin.
Thank you, Truth. Guys, shout out to all of the super chats. It's exactly how we keep this thing running. Okay. The way that you toughen up mentally, honestly, is to incrementally do harder and harder things. Even if I could give you a book, which the only book that really matters is Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. I would definitely read that. Absolutely brilliant. But to get there and make use of it, you have to have the only belief that matters. That's going to lead you to Mindset by Carol Dweck. But the reality is, if you don't want the thing badly enough, no matter how many books you read, you're not going to get there. So you have to want the thing, and then you have to train yourself to do hard things, more and more hard things. And so, yeah, that is the thing you just can't get people to start doing if they're not into it. So if you want to do the easiest hard thing in the world, meditate. If you want to do the next easiest hard thing in the world, do cold showers. If you want to do now we're starting to get pretty nasty, but if you want to soak in a bucket of ice over the street, I'm looking at you. That kind of shit is brutal. You can even put your hand in ice cold water, believe it or not, and it hurts a lot. They've done studies on these, pretty interesting. Clear Glass Studios. Tom, how would you turn 50K into 1 million in a year? This is going to be different for everybody, but the honest answer is, okay, I have to do it in 1 year. Oof. I can only answer this in the abstract to say there are really two paths before you. Bet on something in the stock market and be right. So you're going to have to bet against the consensus and be right. That's very hard and is exactly how people lose their money. The other would be to create something of value that the world wants so badly that they would rather give you money so that they can have the thing than to keep the money for themselves. Those are really the only two paths. Like even if you're going to sell drugs, you are taking on risk to sell the drugs, and ultimately that's still what you're doing. The carrying of the risk is so valuable to the person who wants the drugs that they'll pay you an inordinate amount of money to get the high that they want. Again, not saying that it's good, but just saying that's exactly how you do it. Those are the only two ways to have that kind of big exchange. Gamble, build something of value. Now doing it in a year, that's going to be tough. That's going to be tough. Most people will fail to do that. Guys, don't pump or depump coins, whatever, in the chat. So I keep seeing something about don't buy Litecoin going through. It just makes me so suspicious that you're a bot. So yeah.
We will start taking
Let's go chill with that. Selling drugs is not worth the time
tough
in prison. Rare form, I agree with you, but people are going to sell it. People are going to find those holes in the market. Luke, don't do it. Don't do it. I've seen you in here way too much. I think you're real. But yeah.
No,
Singularity Kitchen, not a bot. Let's talk about drugs, BTC, and eCoins, LMAO. Jordan.
Great morning.
Boom. Sell coffee. Even the pandemic couldn't stop people from buying it. Yep. Legal drugs. Legal drugs. Thank you, Luke.
Coffee and gas. Coffee, gas, sugar.
Sugar. Bro.
Sugar.
People go hard in the paint. People now are just toying with us. Alan Satoshi. I see you. Curtis. Kiddo wants to work in QIS. What is that? QIS? Anybody? I don't know what that is. How would a parent help them map out a way into the quantum workforce? Okay, there we go.
Quantum information sciences.
Let's go. I use Claude Sonnet due to lack of tools for QIS for kiddos. So Curtis, this is all going to be, I would engage with chat and I would say, chat, what I need to understand, or Grok, by the way, they are both awesome. I need to understand the fundamental intellectual building blocks of this space and what are the paths within that space so that you can map out the whole landscape of what people do inside of that, because there's what I call world of. So it's entirely possible that your kid is just better at bookkeeping. And so they want to be an accountant for a quantum information systems company. Or they might really understand the physics of it. And so they want to be down at the chip level and they want to be like, this is the whole thing with, it's not Mayora. It's a weird name. I always fucking forget it. It will get ground into my psyche at some point. But the new chip by Microsoft, where they created, or they were able to, it's like freeze or stabilize a quantum particle that was hitherto only, suspected to exist or known mathematically to exist, but now they know it exists and they're able to do something special with it. I haven't spent enough time figuring out what this all is, but that's what you want to do. You want to lay out all the different paths that you're going to be able to go down and figure out which one of those your kid really likes, and then begin doing things to test out whether they like that in practice. Majorana. That's getting close to the pronunciation. Thank you, Boom. Appreciate that. Yeah, so it's going to be something like that. So the thing that it's interesting. AI moves so fast. I'm going to live and die by the things that I tell you guys. So either I have to change my thesis on ideas don't matter, it's only execution, or I will share with you the idea that I became obsessed with this weekend. Okay, so if it's true that ideas don't matter and only execution matters, which is interesting that I have internal friction over this. So we're going to find out. I don't think anything is changing with that. It's just, God damn, this stuff moves so fast. Okay, so here is the idea. We have these things coming in the next phase of Project Kaizen called exotics. Think of them as AI pets. Right now, they're going to be super dumb, so please don't get too excited. But the goal would be to infuse that with real AI and then to make a physical representation of that with, like, think of it as a Furby with AI running inside of it. So Raspberry Pi running probably a 7 billion parameter AI set, probably Llama. You put it inside and now you can sync up. You earn this AI inside the game and then it syncs up with a real physical thing that you can.
Hi, super chat.
Red lights on. Let's go. Super chat in the house. RJ Johnson.
RJ says, to overcome, read meditations or the summary. The obstacle is the way. For 1 million?
I would assume.
David Andrej built a 7-figure business in 3 months using AI.
All right, to overcome, read meditations on the summary, or the summary, the obstacle is the way.
Oh, meditations, okay. Marcus Aurelius.
Oh, facts.
Summary, the article. Yeah.
Oh, he's calling the obstacle is the way, the summary of Marcus Aurelius' meditations. Let's go, RJ Johnson, for the win. First of all, I tried reading meditations. It was tough. I did prefer all of Ryan Holiday's stuff. So shout out to Ryan Holiday. What just happened?
No, because all of Ryan Holiday's stuff is based off of the meditations.
Yeah. So, well, it's based off of the whole lineage of Stoicism.
Okay. I thought Marcus Aurelius started Stoicism.
He did.
Yeah.
Yes. Help me understand what's happening right now.
It's like, I didn't read the textbook. I just listened to Bill Nye. So it's like, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Copy.
Am I getting shade thrown at me?
No, it's just funny. It's funny. That's it. I like meditations. I thought it was good.
Man, well, you are more advanced than I, my friend. I was traumatized. I was like, wow, I can get the information a lot. I like modern writing a lot because I don't feel like I have to translate it. So I would much rather, like when you're reading like old school stuff, it just feels awkward to me most of the time. So yeah, I fully hit the tap out button and went and spent all my time with the summary as RJ put it. Jordash, at Tom Billu, reboot a Bonsai Buddy desktop assistant with your AI. Bonsai Buddy, I don't know what that is. Anybody know what Bonsai Buddy is?
Let's ask Z Google.
Capitalized. Singularity Kitchen getting a shout out from Mr.
gosh.
Satoshi
A
Greenspan.
freeware
So cute.
virtual assistant that was actually a malicious spyware program. What?
Oh,
Let's
wait.
go.
Bonsai Buddy?
The funny thing is I was
Why is
thinking a
it
lot
so
about that
cute?
because you would really have to solve for security concerns, which in Grok's defense, it was like, hey, make sure you do this because you don't want to tarnish your brand's reputation. And you don't want, because of course I'm talking about 11 to 15-year-olds here. So you don't want your AI saying something that isn't being reported back to the parents. Miggy, thank you for pointing out that one thing that Eunice really needs to do, and this was a Lisa suggestion, is at all times pin whatever we're talking about, even if you have to type it into chat and then pin your own comment so that when people roll up in the live that they always know what we're talking about. Thank you, Miggy. My dad, what's up? My dad is in the feed. We were talking this weekend and he said, hey,
Wait, what?
yeah,
I seen
this.
that. I seen
I was
Tom,
like,
is he
Tom
trolling?
Billu.
I was
No. This really is my dad. His name really is Tom Billu.
That's awesome.
What is up? Dad is in the house, everybody.
That's amazing.
Let's go. Let's go. Dad, it is
Hi, Tom Billu.
absolutely
Shout out to Papa
wonderful
Billu.
to
Yeah.
have you in the feed. I'm so stoked by that. You guys have no idea. So what is up, Dad? Absolutely wonderful.
Up to Coinbase. Dad's like, yeah,
In
that's
Coin-
cool. I'm trying to get rich.
What I love is my dad means Bitcoin. I have spent a significant amount of time helping my dad transfer money from his Coinbase account to his actual his bank account. So, Dad, God bless you.
He was like, yeah,
It
that's
is
cool,
wonderful.
but I need to get these gains. I need to get these
Facts.
gains.
My dad held strong, man. So we gave like a bunch of people in my family a single Bitcoin and said, hey, number go up. Please don't sell this. You can. It's yours now. Do what you want. My dad was like the only one that held.
Nice.
And so he held, he made some gains and I think he's sold some, but has held back some. So God bless my dad.
Nice.
Very, very impressive, Dad, because everybody else hit that give me my money button. And now they don't get nearly as much as they could have. Andy Y says, oh my God, your dad made my day. Being in the live chat, thanks, brothers and some sisters. Too many videos. I don't understand the rest of that. But anyway, shout out to Dad. All right, thoughts on MicroStrategy owning 500,000 Bitcoin. Nav, look, he's either going to become the richest person on planet Earth or be the greatest cautionary tale ever. So no idea. I'm not prepared to make that kind of bet. I do not trust myself to the same degree that he clearly does. So God bless him if he wins. It's incredible. And nobody will cheer more loudly than I. It is extremely gangster to have that kind of hardcore belief. I wouldn't do it. I don't recommend other people do it. And I think the thing that people will really look back on and say it was brilliant no matter how this plays out is pulling the entire stock market on top of Bitcoin by turning his treasury into a Bitcoin treasury. That was absolutely brilliant. Every time I think about that, I'm like, God damn, that was smart. So very, very, very impressive. And now we all get to see what ends up playing out. Jordash, he only has 50 billion out of 21 quadrillion Satoshis. Yeah, so if the concept is, are we worried that he has too much of it? I mean, look, he can sway it. It isn't super ideal. I don't think we want to see it get into the hands of a very small number of people. But the rich are going to get richer. The poor are going to get poorer as long as money is being printed and there is a understanding gap. I don't see a way around it. And so if you look back in history, there's always something that makes for the elite. So it can be physical strength and look at Genghis Khan and we're just going to kill you. And so we're so much better at military than you are that I will kill anyone who stands in my way. And all of the soldiers go, yeah, this guy is so brilliant at the military that even though he just killed my wife and kids, I'm not going to stand up against him because I don't want to be somebody else's slave. It's pretty crazy. So that is the long-standing history of mankind. And so right now we're in an era where money makes the world go round. And so you're just going to see that play out.
Can we answer Renee's question in the chat, by the way?
What about World War III? Is it coming or not? Well, Renee, on a
think
long
about that
enough
all the time, by the
timeline,
way.
it is coming. Do you really?
Yeah.
Guys, this is like Are we automata? We are automata, but don't spend a lot of time thinking about it. It's not a good use of your cycles.
It's too late.
Yeah, so I'm going to try and talk you out of it. So here is the reality about World War III. On a long enough timeline, it will happen. Is it going to be against the robots? Is it going to be against other people because of economic challenges? Is it going to be the US versus China? Is it going to be something that I can't even predict? Who knows? It will happen. Hopefully it will be a long, long, long way away from now. But who knows? Now, it's entirely possible if you need an escape valve from it, absolutely is going to happen. We really are on the precipice of the singularity where the world will be so different at an increasingly rapid rate that the future becomes a probability cloud of massive uncertainties, and we will not be able to see the future. And thus, we may not have a World War III. Okay, red light.
We have a super chat.
Let's go, Nav.
From Nav. Tom, how did your wife fix her gut issues?
Okay, so my wife would go way out of her way to tell you that she still deals with gut issues, but what we did was spend the last 10 years figuring out what were the things that were triggering her. So if you or someone you know has gut issues, then you want to go like this. You have to find out the things that are triggering her. So you're going to need to do an elimination diet, go as simple as possible. The thing that I think, if you're having gut issues, that you should at least try is collapse down to ruminant meat. Okay, so that's going to be cows. Are sheep ruminants? I don't think so. Goats, pretty sure are. So it's probably going to be beef and lamb. There are other ruminants, but somebody else will have to look up what they are. So we always slid Lisa back to just beef. And you'll notice I didn't say beef and pepper. I said beef. So take dead cow flesh, apply heat, chew and swallow. That's the sum total of what I'm talking about. You have to be careful with oils. So what you put in your pan is going to matter. So all of this stuff is extremely important. Slide back to that, stabilize. Once you're stabilized there, then literally one ingredient at a time, start adding things back in. And that's what we did. And we found the things that were bothering her were soy, mostly the gluten, though there's still, like, she can have soy, gluten-free soy in small quantities, but I can't remember if she's even tested how far she can push that. But anyway, soy, gluten, sesame in all of its forms, and dairy. So those are the things that she has to avoid. If she avoids those, then she's great. And there are little things like, what is it about? She can't have canola oil. So I don't remember what the ingredient is there, but just round it to seed oils. Red light. Let's go. Super chat. Justin Angelus, if that's a real last name. I like it. Hey, Tom, I appreciate you. That's very kind. You have become my favorite podcast over Hormozi and Rogan, among others. That's obscenely kind, but I can't see the rest because someone put my face over the image. I think we're saving that chat. Fair enough. Makes it hard. Wait, go back.
Yep.
I have the utmost respect for the way you think. Thank you, Justin. That is very kind. And I would like to concretize the way that I think so that everybody can utilize it, because it is certainly not unique to me in any way, shape, or form. It's trying to be at first principles. I see it. Let me just wrap this. It's trying to be thinking from first principles so that I don't get trapped inside of my own constellation, the made up story of how I make sense of the world, and that I'm always willing to change. I see people in the comments on YouTube all the time like, yo, do you still fucking believe this really dumb thing? I'm like, Jesus Christ. First of all, I'm just trying to build constellations to figure out how I navigate this world. And second, I am constantly looking for disconfirming evidence so that I can level the predictive validity of the way that I think. So that's it. There's nothing special beyond that. All right, red light.
And we have Justin again sent another super chat right after saying, I started my first company a couple weeks ago and you were part of the inspiration. Just want to give you my heartfelt thanks.
Justin, thank you, man. That's really, really kind. And that is exactly why I do this.
We have another one as well.
Because I firmly believe that anyone can adopt these ideas, which I have cobbled together from thinkers that have been publishing works for thousands of years. And so, yeah, it's exciting to see other people embrace them.
We have another super chat from the Writers Are People Too podcast.
The writers are people too.
Writers are people.
They said, With AI in the future workforce, will people turn to creativity, film, writing, art, etc., for fun productivity, or will AI overrun those as well?
Okay, so AI is going to gobble up writing. Gobble, 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 gobble. Like that is one area where I am just legitimately terrified with how fast it's making Lisa Bill you show up in the feed. What's up, Elizabeth? That one I worry in an interesting way because it's going to free you up as a writer. You can now write a screenplay. Let's say that you're like, no AI was involved in the writing of this screenplay, though I highly encourage you to at least brainstorm with the AI because it will keep you from getting stuck. Brainstorming with AI, and then you can actually make the movie. Like that is within the next 3 years, which is absolute insanity. So very excited about that. The world will bifurcate, and some people will say, I only read things that were written entirely by a human and no AI was made in the making of this. Some people will only watch movies that are entirely human made, so on and so forth. But it really becomes a question of what does a post-capitalist society look like and how fast do we get there? Is it 10 years, is it 20 years, 50 years? Don't know. But it seems inevitable. We will either hit an upper bound of intelligence, meaning that you just can't scale, it stops, it hits a wall, or it will go on forever and we will be post-capitalist. Red light.
We just got a super chat from Augustin Machuca.
Let's go.
That's all they said. They sent $5.
Their own name just needs to be said. Machuca. I like the way you say it better, though.
Machuca.
Augustin, thank you, man. That is very kind. That is very kind. Okay, let's just dive into something really weird. My wife and I, Chat, have had conversations for a very long time about what is the defect in my personality that has led to the YouTube channel always struggling whenever I would inject myself more into the interviews. And I was always like, there could be just an inherent thing about my personality that people don't resonate with. Always bothered my wife that I would say that. The fact that my wife and my dad now show up, they've never shown up for the interviews ever. But that's not quite fair. They don't engage with them in the way that they're engaging with this. It's very, very interesting that this format was hiding in plain sight. And it took Drew as an ambitious male to go, hey, motherfucker, you should start streaming for gameplay. And I was like, well, I'll try it. Let's see what happens. And that has had like this crazy echo through how I think about content, the way that we engage. I don't know, man. Look, this could still fail. It's so early. But this is fun, Drew.
If you're not having fun, what's the point, you know?
This is fun. But yeah, and so I'm learning about Drew that he will deflect whenever he is given compliments. But drink it in, my man. Drink it in. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
You have had an impact, my friend.
Cheers.
But it's not a one-person show. We have Eunice on the ones and twos.
Thank you.
Eric has had to get a brand new light and all this to happen before we can even go live.
Free Eric.
Oh, shit. I didn't even notice.
See? You see all these things happen in the background. So, yes, I like to drink it in, but I stand on the backs of the people that came before me.
Don't we all? Don't we all? Inagamu, I love having you here. It is awesome. You guys can't imagine how into that chick I am. Like, in just big, crazy ways. She's rad. It's good to have you here. Alan Satoshi Greenspan says, what's up, Lisa? OG Shay.
Shout out to Shay.
It is way brighter too. So we finally can see Drew. That is lovely.
Yeah.
That is lovely. I get to spend time with my favorite human. Well, thank you. Miggy, in my experience, really fast because I know we're pinning something. Can we make that window maybe smaller, Eric? So when we have to pop it up, which is very important, no, not that one. I see what you're doing. Yep.
Yeah,
perfect.
No, yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Yep. Very, very smart. And then if you tweak the other one, that would be amazing. Where do we go? So Miggy, in my experience, if it's not an interactive back and forth, I'm not sitting at the keyboard and I'm up and about doing things. Yeah. Very true. We do try to make it as interactive with chat as possible because it drives me crazy when I'm watching a streamer and they're not interacting with chat. Now, look, there will be a day, and Eunice is going to solve for this problem. We hope there's a day where chat is just moving so fast that we won't be able to see it all. But until that day arrives, this is just going to be us looking at what you guys are saying. And Drew is humble, clear glass. You were not wrong about that. Hit us up, Eunice.
I put the red light on because I want to talk about your shoes.
Shoot cam.
Shoe cam.
Shoot cam.
They match your shirt.
They do. I got a matchy match thing.
So tell us about them real quick.
They match and they what?
And they're new to the to the show.
Oh, maybe to the show, but I've had these for years. So I'm a matchy match kind of guy. So I try to have shoes that match my shirt at all times. Augustin Machuca back with the super chat. Let's go. Tom, question. I think is what that means. Do you know Charles Hoskinson, and what are the odds of bringing him on? So I know of him. I know he is behind a cryptocurrency. I don't remember which one.
Blockchain engineering company, IOHK.
What's his?
On the Cardano blockchain?
Cardano. What are the odds of bringing him on? I don't know. I don't know him enough. So we'll call this the Jordan Peterson effect, where I know just enough to think that I don't want him on the show. And for years, I didn't bring Jordan Peterson on the show because I had heard that he was a misogynist. So I was like, well, I don't want a misogynist on the show. And then finally I was like, God, this guy's name keeps coming up all the time. What are the odds that a real misogynist gets talked about this much? And so I went and watched his videos and I was like, why do people think he's a misogynist? So anyway, then we brought him on the show. So it's entirely possible that if I engage with his content, I'd be like, oh my God, he's amazing. But the headlines are always that he's a little unhinged. So I don't know that that's true. I haven't even thought about him in 3 years. So no idea. And he seems pretty cool when I view him. Yeah, Chia Pet, it's entirely possible. He's the raddest person ever. I just haven't looked closely at him.
Ooh, Evergreen Bride has a good one.
Let's go.
Should we worry about being nice to our ChatGPT/AI when communicating with them, asking them questions? I feel the need to say sorry, thank you, and please, as I want to stay on the right side of AI.
Okay, one, Evergreen Bible. That's probably that's probably the funny reason to do it. But if I'm really honest, the real reason to do it is that it's good mental hygiene to remember to say please and thank you. But two people that I know and love very dearly, one of them who may be in this feed, has said one of the things that they really like about AI is that they can just be blunt with their feedback. Now that doesn't mean that you're not being polite. You want to be polite just because it's good manners. But I will say that the nice thing about AI is that you're not going to hurt their feelings. So you can just be like, that's terrible. That doesn't lead to the thing that I want to do. And then you can keep moving forward. But yeah, pleases and thank yous and all that stuff, I think goes a long way just to reminding you to be kind to others. It's just a good frame.
And Raz says, being real does not equal being an asshole.
Yeah, I agree. So now you can be an asshole under the guise of I'm just being real. So do keep that in mind. I think that's important. Eric, is that window, is it possible to make that more narrow or that just won't shrink anymore? Let's go. There we go. There we go. Does that hurt you in some way? Okay, because that really helps me. That way, yup. Now we're getting somewhere. There we go. Who could that be, Lisa Villieu? I don't know. Only guesses abound. Heather, we are always training the AI. That isn't quite true yet. Although, if you mean like at a grand scale, the AI is just crawling, yes. But in terms of your interactions with AI, it can only remember so much. But that will get expanded for sure. I'm having social media PTSD. Andy, say more, please. I am mechanical with AI. I don't even put periods, commas, or question marks. It's what's fascinating, Clear Glass, is that it'll be able to keep up still, which is pretty impressive. Whoa, wait. Oh God, my dad is probably not here anymore. I wish he was, because we have tormented my sister so endlessly since I was like 11 with the movie Buckaroo Banzai. So the fact that we have Buckaroo Banzai 8D in here, I love it the most. My dad and I thought that movie was hilarious, and my sister felt like she was being punished by God himself. Scroll back up. Nope, we got a super chat. Never mind. Truth Devin, let's go.
Do you know Gary?
Yep, please.
Oh, do you know Gary Economics? I actually want to see you, Tom, battle his ideas because he has good points.
Okay, so I think Gary Economics was the guy that was on Piers Morgan, like on Friday or something. So I watched the episode today.
It was a British dude that I said.
Yeah, that you pitched 100%. So here's the thing. Drew pitches him on like Thursday or something. Yeah. And I was like, I don't know enough about him. I'll have to look more into him. If you can just do deep research, figure out if this is the guy. So literally this morning, he comes across, I think it's him, in the Piers Morgan episode, super British, like Cockney type accent. Mm-hmm. Shaved head.
Yeah.
So watch that. Here's the thing. He's right about the problem. He's wrong about the solution. So I don't even think he has a working thesis on what is creating the problem. No, that's not true. What he thinks is creating the problem is that, no, he doesn't. What he has is a working hypothesis on how to solve the problem. He doesn't have a take on what's causing the problem.
Are you referring to inflation?
Well, that's my hypothesis. Yeah. Well, that's my thesis, in my opinion.
Because he had. I can send you that because he does have a take on. He's similar in the fact that with money printing, the rich are going to gobble up more of those assets than the poor, and that's why taxing them and redistributing the wealth is the solution.
It won't work. It won't work.
Jesus
Christ.
His point, and I think it was hilarious. He's like, the reason that the French got beheaded and the British were able to like keep their heads was because they realized they need to have an active, engaged middle class. Where the French were like, "You're good, you're good, you're good." And
he's right.
Eventually, got revolted.
See, okay, I see the red light. Remind me to come back to the Pixar thing. Pixar.
Augustine sent another super chat. By the way, third super chat this live stream from Augustine.
Shout out to Augustine.
Come on.
Augustine says, just FYI, Cardano is fully decentralized as of just a few weeks ago. It is now more decentralized than Bitcoin.
I don't know how you get more decentralized in Bitcoin, unless he means that a broader swath of humanity holds it, or it's spread across more nodes. I don't know. But anyway, very interesting. Thank you for that.
Yes, David Villa, we're going to check out that Jeffrey Sachs EU address.
Oh, we've been trying to get Jeffrey Sachs on the show. Guys, if you can go full stalker on some of these people to help us get them on the show, that'd be amazing. Yes.
We've got a super chat from Telescope.
Telescope. Come on. That's a good name.
Also, their third super chat on a live stream. They said, hi.
This is their third one today?
Not today. Just
I was going to say, hold on. Oh, does it keep track?
Yes, it does.
So you can see how many super chats they've done.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So we're going to have VIP super chatters. Let's go, Telescope. Thank you.
They said, hi, I appreciate your work. I'm Olaf, 38, a former construction worker, now a truck driver for 5 years. I saved enough to study AI, but feel overwhelmed. No business yet, just ideas. How should I start? Okay. One, dude, I love that all of my worlds are coming together here where we're getting mindset questions, business questions, economics, finance, all of it. God. Okay, so here is how you would want to start a business. So the reality is you have to look at what is something that the world wants that for whatever reason that need isn't being met, and then figuring out what is it about your approach that's going to make this work. Because, okay, the world is think of capital allocation as a big giant sheet. And right now it's like you've got, 1,000 of these giant sheets. What you're about to see is most of those 1,000 giant sheets will get dropped and they're going to shatter into a bunch of little pieces, meaning that companies are going to be 1 and 2, 3 people, and they're going to make these quick things that the world is going to burn through very fast, moving from thing to thing. Oh man, even as I say what I think is true, this makes me very tense. Anyway, that is almost certainly what's going to happen. So what you're asking is, how do I get my little piece of that puzzle? You have to figure out who is the community that you're trying to serve. What is the need that they already have, that they know they have, and you're going to meet that need. Do not try to convince people that they have a problem. This is what entrepreneurs do all the time, is they like this thing and they really want to do it. And they're going to do it no matter what. And then they go out to the world and the world's like, but I don't care about that. I don't see that as a problem that I have. And then you have to convince them that they have that problem. This is why Quest grew as fast as it did. And Impact Theory is much slower in growth. I knew that going into it. One is you're overweight and you want to eat junk food. And that's a huge problem that people already know they have. And so we came into the market and said, here, I made something that tastes like junk food, but it's actually good for you. And so people were losing weight like crazy. And so it absolutely exploded. Impact Theory is, I want to entertain you. And people are like, I've got a gazillion options for entertainment. And so it becomes way harder to hyperscale an entertainment business for that exact reason. So I can do it because I'm already wealthy. So this is where you want to think about what is that need that people are screaming to have solved, and then go solve that. Red light. Esoteric Dichotomy says, hey, Tom.
Long-time listener. We love you.
What concerns me with the Doge/cuts without addressing Social Security or Medicare, it is really hard to balance budget, payroll, tax shortfall.
Yep. Facts.
Ipso facto.
Ipso facto. Now, we'll give more detail, but you are so right. Most people don't realize that all the changes that they're making now are more directional in nature than they are definitive, meaning what they're doing now is not going to solve the problem. What they're doing now, though, helps, and you want to do everything that you can that helps, because the government was moving in the wrong direction. We were accumulating deficit spending faster and faster, so at least we're now moving in the opposite direction, and we're decreasing the amount of deficit spending, which is incredible. We'll see if that holds, because of course, if what they do with tax breaks and all that stuff ends up bringing in less money, it's all about the differential between what you spend and what you tax. So we've got to be thoughtful about that. But he really is making moves that if they can yield benefits fast enough, will be amazing. I just don't know if they'll yield benefits fast enough. And if you vacillate back and forth, you'll keep doing the destructive part of the change and not the creative part of the change. So we shall see. But yes, the things that just eat up the vast majority of the money are the debt. So servicing the debt, yikes, that's massive. And then the entitlements. So you are correct. Oscar, GM, right back to you. All right, David, this is
Oscar
to Lisa.
Here. Nice. We got to do push-ups, Oscar. Let me know when you're ready.
The EU address is so, I think, bonkers. It's so true that none of European media doesn't address. Oh, you guys have to tell me then what it is, because we're going to need to cover it in today's episode. So let's pull it up. Let's show me the best bits. And chat, if you would, give us some times to focus in on. Atlas Information. Tom, as an avid gamer, do you feel simulation theory, life as an MMORPG, is closest to the nature of our Matrix-like reality? Yes. Yes, and I want to live life as an MMORPG, like for real, for real, for real, for real. It is quite literally what I'm trying to build. Oh, I thought for sure you were about to do push-ups. I was like, damn, this is going to be like a segment.
May I answer Vision GC right here? Vision GC said, just trying to understand if there's a platform that gets prioritized as far as where Tom's attention is. Like if YouTube is getting the most views, he prioritizes YouTube chat over others.
No, so we have it such, Vision, that all the chat comes into the same space. So I don't see any difference. So it's just that we have way more people over on YouTube than we have on Twitch. So if everybody on YouTube is chatting or all the super chats are coming from YouTube, because you can do the same thing on Twitch, you can do biddies. And so Eunice is paying attention to that. If you drop biddies on something, we'll make sure that we read it out. Red light. I'm guessing this is for Augustine again with that super chat. Let's go. I know. I feel like we're at the strip club and Augustine is just racking them off. All right. I hope I'm dancing well. Cardano is more decentralized, as in the holders are fully engaged through voting, just like a democracy. Uh-oh. Remember, Augustine, that direct democracy is a sure way to derange your society. So be a little bit careful. Be a little bit careful. Thallion X. I try to be nice to the AIs because robots will probably eventually have rights. Thallion, you're not wrong about that. That's crazy, but nonetheless true. Oscar, over on Twitch. Thanks. That was the pin. That was what the pin was for. Eunice, you want to help us with context on that one?
Oh, because Oscar said, what are we doing? And I said, I pinned it.
There we go.
And it said, we are currently answering questions from chat until we prep for the actual episode.
Indeed. And we're going to be pulling up the whatchamacallit.
Yeah, I got it. I have
go.
2 bits so far, a 2-minute video and a 15-minute video. Jeffrey Sachs has bangers, man.
Also,
Yes,
once
he
again,
does.
guys, if you guys have any linky poos or anything you want Tom and Drew to look at, come to the Discord. Drop them in the Discord channel / or hashtag Tom Bilyeu Show. They're there. We're looking at them. Thank you.
The one on the left first.
All right, everybody, bear with us. We won't see chat for a minute because all I can see is what's on the screen now.
And then if you
Eunice, you'll red light if we have.
1.5 it.
Literally believe this is now a U.S. world, and we will do as we want. The wars in the Middle East, Serbia, the wars in Africa, these are wars that the United States led and caused. And this has been true for more than 40 years. Europe has not had any foreign policy during this period that I can figure out. No voice, no unity, no clarity, only American loyalty. Please don't have American officials as head of Europe. Have European officials. Have a European foreign policy. You're going to be living with Russia for a long time, so please negotiate with Russia. Trump and President Putin will agree to end the war. If Europe does all its great warmongering, it doesn't matter. The war is ending. Not one word is told to the American people about anything, or to you, or by any of your newspapers these days. This idea that Putin's reconstructing the Russian Empire, this is childish propaganda. So the war started. What was Putin's intention in the war? I can tell
Wait,
you.
is he about to say? Because that is a crazy bomb to drop and then just move on. Does he explain it? Have you seen this?
I have.
Is he about to explain it? But they're cutting so much. Go ahead.
He's getting to it.
What his intention was. When Zelensky said in 7 days, let's negotiate, I know the details of this exquisitely. I flew to Ankara to listen in detail to what the mediators were doing. Ukraine walked away unilaterally from a near agreement. Why? because the United States told them to. I begged the Ukrainians. And I had a track record with the Ukrainians. I advised the Ukrainians. I'm not anti-Ukrainian, I'm pro-Ukrainian completely. I said, save your lives, save your sovereignty, save your territory, be neutral. Don't listen to the Americans. I repeated to them the famous adage of Henry Kissinger, that to be an enemy of the United States is dangerous, but to be a friend is fatal.
Oh, God. That's way too much editing for me. I need to see like the full thing. So was that his whole speech cut down?
No. There's a longer one. There's a 15-minute one. That was just specifically about the Ukraine war.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
This guy is so good. Oh my God.
He's so good.
Okay, so we're going to have this in the show today, which means we're going to need at a minimum, he does look like Tim Cook, singularity. We're going to need to play the 15-minute version at one point.
The full interview was like 1 hour and like 30 minutes.
Oh, God damn it. I wish I'd known. Oh man, that makes me sad. Okay, so at a minimum though, we gotta watch that full 15 minutes.
You want to pull it up now?
Whatever is interesting, true as a child of war in Africa. Whatever, are you a child of war in Africa? If so, we're gonna need some info. All right, True Devin back with another banger super chat. Let's go. Gary Economics has a YouTube channel. He explains economics very well, thoroughly in his channel. He has really good ideas, but I don't know if he's right. That's why I want you to battle his ideas. Yeah, look, I'm all for it. So here's the thing. You want to remember, I do not go in to battle people's ideas. I go in to find out if they have a better constellation than I have. So if I find that Gary Economics has a higher predictive validity, I will immediately adopt Gary Economics thinking. This is where if you're picking me as a champion in the ring of debate battles, I'm not your guy. I'm going to drive you fucking nuts. I am walking into all of those things going, does this guy know a jujitsu lock that I don't know? Because if he does, I'm going to immediately adopt it because I'm in a fucking knife fight out in the real world and I want to win the knife fight. I could care fucking less about the debate. Debate is a real word. Debate is not, but you know what I mean. So that's how I approach the world. Red light.
We got biddies.
Let's go. Who's throwing biddies around?
Chat.
We got biddies from High Speed.
Let's go, High Speed.
Oh, so bits work?
Bits work.
WRT Canada, do you think Trump's goal is to motivate them to make more use of their natural resources?
Yep.
To motivate them? No, that's probably the wrong word. Do I think that he wants to make America the most dominant force the world has ever seen, and that he will do that by hardball negotiations where it's like, we can help you end the war, but you're going to have to give us some of the rights? Yes. And how do I feel about that? I have very mixed feelings because morally it's pretty nasty. But from we live in a world of realpolitik, you have to play the game. So Atlas Information with another super chat. Let's go. Quick follow-up for Tom plus chat. If life is an MMORPG, are we here for Tom's character or to know the player behind the character?
Ooh.
What a good question.
I try to make as little difference between those two things as possible.
Yo.
So this is why I make no attempt to look cool. Because in real life, I'm not cool. So that is what hopefully we're about. But everybody should assume they're the main character. That is what I will say. So you're here for your own character. Learn as much as you can from me, the NPC, who's going to send you on a quest, and then you go win your quest. And that's exactly how I view myself as well. I am the only one who's not an NPC.
Oh, he was talking about Canada. Are we baiting to become the 51st state to use Canada's resources? Which probably, because...
That's interesting. Yes, that is precisely why. I mean, look, the right way to think about the Canadian thing is, as an entrepreneur, you know that one of the best ways to grow your revenue is through acquisition. And so if he can acquire a country with that rich of resources, economy, that you can really expand your revenue. This gets into very complicated waters very fast, but they've got a very green policy and a lot of natural resources for a non-green world. And so I think Trump as a non-green guy is like, hey, let's make this happen. First of all, we make up a massive amount of their economy anyway. And then second, meaning trade with the US. And then second, with drill, baby, drill, we could really do something magical. All right. Augustine, back with another one. Thank you guys for doing this format. It's super cool to be able to interact. Augustine, it feels exactly the same for us. Being able to feel like we're instantaneously be able to put a group of people together to be able to hang out is incredible. Kevin Mongling, I hope that's close. My first exposure to Tom was through the old Millennial Problem video with Simon Sinek. Yo, that was almost a decade ago. It changed my life as a millennial. Much love, Tom. Man, pure love to Simon Sinek on that one. Like, he knocked that thing out of the park. That went everywhere. Megging, is that right?
With Kevin?
Yeah.
Kevin?
Megling.
Mowgli
See that L.
is how I read it.
But he spelled it M-E-G.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
I'm literally looking at it. Scroll to the bottom.
no, he put how to pronounce.
She's trying to gaslight me.
Where is it?
Right there, second to the bottom.
Oh, I was still looking at his own chat.
It was
Megling.
she explaining. What was it?
She expanded.
She manipulated.
No, it's
Manipulate.
something about
no.
she. Oh God!
It was
Chat,
it was
help us.
gaslighting.
We're
and
having a stroke.
sheepulating From last week, what was it?
What was it?
She elaborating. I got there, Chat. I beat you, Chat. But there is a delay, so we have a slight advantage. I took advantage of that delay. Let's go. All right, listen, Grasshopper. Sorry, late. Just spent 10 minutes catching up. I see you talked about Grok 3 that I mentioned last week on Discord. Did I miss you talking about Microsoft's Majorana 1 quantum chip? A little bit, listen, Grasshopper, but I still, I know precious little more about it than I do now. I spent my weekend trying to figure out how to make a highly intelligent Furby that's connected to your Project Kaizen character. Time well spent? I like to think so. Hit us.
Robert Hartery, super chat, says,
Let's
Tom,
go.
do you think that AI and robotics will increase productivity enough to offset inflationary pressures?
Yes.
Fingers crossed.
How fast, though? That's the question. But in the next 5 years, I think we're going to see millions of robots come online. Millions and millions and millions. So, yeah, I think that could be very interesting.
We have Yeti Bandit saying, Tom, did you see the reporter put in jail in Canada for a tweet?
I didn't see it in Canada. I know it's been happening in Germany. I know it's been happening in the UK. This is crazy. Can we get some details on that, though? Because I don't want to. I heard on Piers Morgan him saying that a lot of the stuff happening in the UK is being overblown. It's really not that big of a deal. He's a pretty hardcore free speech guy. So I don't want to get too hyphy at the headline level and not drill in. But at the headline level, it sounds absolutely absurd, like absurd in all capital letters.
Free all the tweeters. Hashtag
free all the tweeters.
Free all the tweeters.
Indeed. You must look into Michael Hudson. He will change your mind on debt jubilees. He is fascinating. All right, Michael Hudson for the disc-confirming win. Let's make sure that we check him out. If Drew, you would put him on a sheet somewhere for us to look into, that'd be amazing.
We got red light.
At Seventon is trying to prove himself a bot. Don't do it, Don't do it.
We do have high speed with some more biddies again.
High speed with the biddies in the house. Cheer 100. Let's go. Do you think, wait. Do you think this increase in robots and AI will cause a deflation like the Industrial Revolution did? Yes, that is my hope. Now, remember, everybody, that deflation is only bad when it's brought about by crisis. Innovation-led deflation is the very thing that we are hoping for to get us out of our debt spiral. So we want that. Let's go, because you unlock growth. Innovation unlocks growth by making things cheaper and easier. And shockingly, despite that, because it seems like, wait, no, that should be bad. That means the dollar's worth more and now it's harder to pay back your debt. It is not harder to pay back governmental debt when the government realizes, oh, okay, wait a second, we have all this innovation and now we're able to unlock GDP growth. GDP growth is going to be the thing that allows us to pay down the debt. If you got your GDP growth to 4 or 5%, everything changes. If you can get it even higher than that, which there have been periods, I believe, I don't think I'm wrong about this, that have been substantively higher than that. And that is exactly how you get out of the quagmire that we are in right now. Dude 411, Tom, how much do you feel AI and robotics will impact the rate of unemployment and quality of life for humans? All right, in the short term, I think it's going to be very disruptive. In the long term, I think it's going to be incredible. The problem that it's going to create is one of meaning and purpose. And so this is why, despite the fact that I have no children, my big recommendation to people is, unless you know how you're going to get meaning and purpose in a world where AI is better than you at everything, having kids is probably the right play. Now, treat me like an AI. Do not just take my advice because I say it. You need to really think through it, but let that be one angle through which you view the world. I would think about that very seriously, because nature has put an algorithm in your brain that says if you raise children well, you will feel like you've done something meaningful. And so that is important.
Somebody brought up Diddy's lawyer quitting. And I found out this weekend that Diddy's lawyer represented Osama bin Laden.
Oh, God.
Chill.
Yo.
So if he gonna quit, if he didn't quit on the terrorist,
Damn.
they said Diddy's guilty. Diddy's auto.
Oh, God. That's rough.
We have a super chat from
That is
Redmond
rough.
Carson.
Super chat.
Let's go.
With AI being a non-emotional entity and everyone being scared, do you believe it's a threat or overblown? Why would they have any motivation for dominance as they aren't driven by emotions like us?
Yeah, I don't know. So the fundamental question is, will they need to be motivated in the way that we are in order to actually achieve the things that we want them to achieve? So is artificial superintelligence possible if the AI is not goal-oriented? I don't know the answer to that question. It is entirely possible that a fundamental part of intelligence is drive, but I don't know that. I don't know. If it is, it could be very dangerous. And if it's not, then all should be well for the exact reason that you're saying.
We have another super chat from Work Hard.
Let's go. Work hard.
They said, should we completely abolish the Federal Reserve and go on to a Bitcoin standard?
I don't know about a Bitcoin standard, but should we abolish the Federal Reserve? Okay, abolishing the Federal Reserve, I feel out over my skis. I can feel internally that I should not have a strong stance on this yet, but all the things that I do feel very strongly about point to either abolishing the Fed or dramatically changing the way that it works. But odds are that given the natural end state of all the things that I believe about money printing would be to abolish the Fed, that almost certainly that is what you need to do. But I can feel that internal thing that I get to where I've not thought enough about something to take a super aggressive stance on. So I'll report back, but probably is my answer. Resource-based economy would be best monitored by AI. What do we mean by that, Jared? Say more. And Jared, if that image is actually of you, congratulations on all the testosterone. Because goddamn, that is a ZZ Top beard that I cannot grow in my wildest dreams. Not in my wildest dreams.
That's on the testosterone.
Said LOL.
That's
Yes.
awesome.
Thanks.
All right, Kevin Megling, now that we know how to say your name, just remember the way my memory works, you're going to have to remind me of that like 1,000 times. If you're shooting for real life as an MMO, how do you navigate the ethical drawbacks that stories like Ready Player One talk about? Yeah, Kevin, I actually don't know. I have not thought through all the moral implications, but there are a lot, especially because I want to raise an AI child, which clip that out. That's going to go crazy. And there are going to be all kinds of ethical concerns about that, especially as I'm like telling people, hey, have real kids. And then I'm over here raising an AI child. People going to lose their minds. Yunagamu, welcome. You have a very serious look on your face, which means you did not come as my wife. You came as my business partner. Okay. She's doing something very business partnery over on the sidelines. But we have a super chat. Atlas Information. Please consider Iron Man is a mechanical suit with AI Jarvis. The true hero is Tony Stark, but Stark's ego creates Ultron. So in the MMO of life, are we Iron Man or are we Ultron? How do we know? Atlas Information, your mind is absolutely fascinating. Okay, so here is the reality. Humans are flawed. This is why I beg people not to trust themselves. And I can feel myself tread into untrustworthy waters. And so I at least try, when I feel that feeling, I try to back off. So if I find myself yelling and screaming like I do with economics, that's where I'm like, okay, I am at my most likely to be wrong on this thing because I'm so fucking hot and heavy that I'm right. And that's why I give you guys the caution that if you want me to go battle Gary economics, from my perspective, it won't be that. I will go in and say, okay, look, I have an open mind. Here's what I do. I will argue my points. Like if you watch the interview with Destiny, I will argue my points. because I need to see if they have a very compelling argument against my strongest, most impassioned argument. But trust me when I say that I want to walk away with higher predictive validity. And that means that you have to always go, maybe I'm wrong about this. God, it's so intoxicating to know that you can get better at something, that I'm driven by that intoxication. I'm not driven by the intoxication of being right, even though that is sexy and it's a total turn on and everybody likes to be right. But it's not nearly as useful as getting the right answer. Don't get me started on karaoke chat.
Yeah, let's get
Say
started.
more. I don't know what that means.
Context.
What's karaoke chat?
Because you said something about humans, and then you just put a Killers line in there, and Killers is like one of my favorite bands. And I was like, oh, I was about to like finish the lyric, and then I was like,
Now wait, are the Killers a religious band?
no, they're not.
No, they're not.
You haven't heard that whole thesis?
No.
The Killers.
Yes.
Yeah. There's like a whole thing.
Hold on,
See,
hold on.
Eric
You're
Rios, who I
that too?
promise is a
He
real
does
person.
talk about like the devil and God a lot, like in like his lyrics.
I'm telling you. Now, look, I'm not telling you because I don't know shit about it. But at a headline, I was like, oh, the Killers is a religious band? I had no idea.
I never heard that theory. I wouldn't be mad at it.
We do have a super chat
Let's go.
from Music for the Martial Arts Journey, and then it cuts off. I'm sorry.
Nice username.
When Neon Future reboot, I read up to issue number 11.
Ooh.
Wow. Well, thank you, man. So interesting that you say reboot because you're right. If we were going to approach it like that, it probably is start over because we were way over indexing on the cyborg part. Now, here's the punchline. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert. God, do I really say this out loud?
I like when you live process.
Yeah. I don't know that I want to say this. I will just say this, that I thought a lot more about AI than people realize, and where the story was going literally from the jump was AI. But there are things that we have not been honest about in the story yet, which is still sort of meant to be a big reveal. But will I ever just pick it back up from where it stopped? Probably not. Probably not, especially now because we're focused on kids. At the time I wrote that, I hadn't yet decided that 100% of the stories that we tell should be aimed at kids. I was doing an 80-20 split. So I don't know if I'll ever go back to it. I don't know, because as AI makes things so much easier and faster, maybe I go back if I feel like I can do it fast enough. We'll see. But thank you, man. That means a lot. I put so much fucking time into that. Onomatopoeia. Did you know, Eunice, it has a T in it? Most people didn't realize that. I've been on a crusade to get people to understand.
That's so crazy.
It's crazy.
But All
no,
Systems
Matt-
Go is still like live, right?
Yeah, All Systems Go is being
Systems Go is
released
dope.
right now
I like All
as
Systems
we speak over on Tapas. Check it out, everybody. That is I didn't write it. I came up. Oh, God. I was like, who the fuck knows Will Rodriguez? Nightbot, because
Me.
I'm sure I wrote that. So there it is. Thank you, Eunice. Nightbot for the win. Let's go. So yes,
Apparently the
we do
Killers-
comics, everybody. We do comics.
I'm finding out this live. The Killers, Brandon Flowers was a Mormon,
Ex-Mormon.
ex-Mormon.
Yo.
In Vegas, man. That's
Wow.
crazy.
Guys.
Actually, there's a lot of Mormons in Vegas.
Okay, but hold on. Let's talk
Mormons-
about Mormons' very sordid history. Did you guys hear? Mormons perpetrated a massacre, one of the worst massacres in U.S. history. Eric knows. Eric, you and I are like synced up.
Eric,
today.
what you watching over there?
So one of the worst massacres in U.S. history. And guess what they did? They dressed up as Native Americans and then killed all these whiteys. And we're like,
Not the
yo, is it? Yes. And because Mormons have a thing where they're like, you can't kill innocents, they took all the kids and were like, if you were under like 12 or something, they took them, were like adopting them, and then charged the U.S. government. This is like in 1850, roughly. And they charged the U.S. government like $2,000, which would have been a fucking fortune back then, to house these kids, because they were like, well, the Native Americans, they fucking slaughtered all these people. And so we took them in out of the goodness of our heart. And then they started asking the kids, like, what happened? And they were like, these are white people dressed up as Native Americans, guys. They obviously didn't say Native Americans. You get the fucking idea. Crazy town.
Nuts.
Absolute crazy town. Dude, read about the Wild West. It is the most insane period. And by the way,
That's why they
if
call
you
it
didn't
Wild
know,
West.
the Wild West happened at the same time as the Civil War.
What?
Those are the same thing. They are the same time period, just different parts of America. It's
We do have a super
bananas.
chat, by the way.
Let's go, super
From
chat.
Truth Devon. Tom, when will you rock a buzz cut?
Literally never, because my ears are so fucking big. Which, by the way, if my dad is still in the chat, thanks, Dad. My dad has gigantic ears just like me. I look so much like my dad, no DNA test needed. If you're wondering what my dad looks like, he looks like me. That's it.
You look like him. Let's get it right.
Also that. These are facts.
Also that.
Hey, fair.
It's
Say it
a
like it
fact,
is,
though.
Eunice. Say it like it is.
Someone said the Wild Wild West with Will Smith, baby.
Oh, man. Will made me sad.
Wow, wow, West.
That slap did not make me happy.
That was a good movie.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, okay.
I never saw it.
I thought it was
not.
cool.
You would have been a lot younger.
Yeah, I was like,
'Cause there's like
I
4 or
was in the
5
womb
years
when I
between
saw
you
it
guys.
pretty
I was about to see it. Watch
It's
it
just
recently.
enough.
Yeah, watch it recently, and it's like,
I-
King Tut
I think we
AI.
have
Wait,
very
I want to read
different
this.
cinema
Laugh out loud.
feed.
This is actually a big deal in my country because it happens all of the time. Taking kids and raising them. Yikes, King Tut. That's gnarly. King Tut, where are you? I've heard your voice. I thought you lived in America.
thank you, Bill, for
Apparently
scratch.
not.
Yes, you said bring up the
Remind
Pixar
me.
thing when we were talking about Gary economics.
Oh,
and
thank you.
taxing
Okay.
rich.
So Pixar has a method of getting their stories great where they say, if you're the creator of the story, they bring like 15 people around a table. And like every day, I think you have to show what you've been working on. I think it's every day. And then they all critique it. And they're like, this is trash. That's working. That's not working, whatever. And they said, when somebody tells you that there's a problem, you must listen. You must address it. When they tell you how to fix it, you can ignore them. That's how I feel at a noob level to Gary economics. He's telling me there's a problem. He's right. It needs to be addressed. He's telling me how to fix it. I don't buy it. Because he said, he says it in a really interesting way. Tax the work less, tax the rich more. I think that's the exact verbiage that he uses, meaning tax the workers less. He's wrong about that. It won't work. So, yeah, there it is. Anyway, that was the whole thing about Pixar. He's got his finger on the right problem. He's offering a solution that I think history proves will not work. All right, whatever is interesting, more advanced. Don't know what that means. King Tut, I think hopefully he's answering the question that I asked. He's going to remind me. South Sudan is where I'm from, but living. Okay. I was going to say, I didn't think you lived elsewhere. But King Tut is in our ITU program. He's going hard for that AI cake. Excited to see what he builds. AI and anime, by the way,
AI.
unless he moves on. Yeah, he's trying to make anime an AI-able thing. He's got some stiff competition.
Clear
That
Gas
is the only
Studios.
catch.
I've seen that question pop up a couple times.
Tom, do you think it's worth learning cinematography with generative AI with the saturation of content coming? Absolutely not. Hard pass. Here's what you do want to do. As of today, you need to have taste. If you have taste, then it's like just work with AI and get, you can say more like this, less like that, whatever. But actually learning how to turn on lights and all that stuff, hell no. Hell no.
I think
That'd be
that's a
poor
thin
use of
line though.
time.
There's a difference between like taste to me is cinematography because you should learn how to make things look good. You should know how to like that, which you should learn now. So do you need to learn how to what light and how to carry a light? Not necessarily, but you should learn how to light what it should look like. Yeah. Like the end result you want to have the good taste on.
Yeah. What he said. Now, if you know that movie, you are my friend. Shot by Esco. Top of the morning, right back to you.
We have
Didn't
a
it
super
work in
chat.
the 60s? No, I assume you're talking about the taxes. It has literally never worked, right? Hit us with it.
No Lambo for you, says. Mormons were the original S-coiners. Google Kirkland banking notes.
Gonna have to look into it. I don't know anything about that.
Put it in the Disky.
That
Put it in
would
the
be
Discord, please.
hilarious.
Love it.
Kirkland banking notes. They're dropping shit coins, huh? Mormonism is a Christianity what Islam is a Judaism. Yikes! I don't think I should have read that out loud. That's clippable. I was reading. I don't know enough. Maybe that really is true. I don't know. In that, do Mormons want to kill Christians? Do Islamists in general want to kill Jews? Don't know.
Maybe we go back
Some
to the
do. That is for
cinematography.
sure.
Maybe we go
No,
back. I got a question.
nope. Hard pass. Here's the thing, chat. I'm not going to do it to you like that. Let's wade into crazy waters. Let's look at all the disconfirming shit. We got to do it.
Homer Simpson.
We got to do it,
live.
chat.
Get back in the bush.
Yeah, we can't do it. We can't be weak like that, chat.
We go back.
We got to go right into the hard stuff. Let's go. Now, look, I may not always have a useful take, so let's be very clear about that. But we're not going to shy away. Red light.
Atlas Information says, Iron Man Ultron allegory is the tip of the iceberg. If you appreciate it, I can forward video links. Copy of my book, Re-AI, DEI, Collapse, New Age, and more.
Let's go. Send it over, man. Hit us in the Discord.
It is in the Discord, which I just
Let's go.
to again.
Kevin is LDS. Ask me stuff. Kevin.
Oh,
what?
Wait, that's a good one. That's a good one. There's from Snort and Snowflakes, which is a crazy name. They said, "Have you ever soaked, Kevin?"
Soaking was not on my radar today, boys and girls. If you don't know what soaking is, this is a Mormon thing. So, Kevin, admittedly, this is a dope question.
Do you guys need a shaker?
So this is the greatest thing in my life. I can't believe this is real. Kevin, can you please confirm for us that Mormon youth do the following? Because you're not supposed to have intercourse, they will place themselves inside of the young lady. And as long as they don't thrust, somehow it doesn't count. And so they have people shake the bed so that they're technically not doing it. That one that is so in keeping with what I know about humans that I would not at all be surprised if this is true. And please, parents listening, whatever weird rule you give your kids, evolution is going to beat you. Like the impulse at that age to have sex is so outrageous that, some of them are going to find a way around it. It just is what it is. But yeah.
It's soaking in soda bars. That's what I've been.
Soda bars?
Like, you never heard of soda bars?
Oh, they go.
They can't drink. So it's like they have like a Mountain Dew with a bunch of like cherry syrup and all that. Like that bars that's where they hang out.
Hilarious.
So I say Kevin did not answer the question.
Everything. He said it's wild in all caps.
That didn't answer
So I take that. Pretty sure it's not just LDS. Tom is 100% right on the impulse thing. Yeah, Kevin, look, sure.
But I don't know if any non-Mormons soak.
Because they just go have sex, right? Or you get the
not trying to pick on you, Kevin, but that's
well. Let's pick on Bill Clinton. This was the funniest shit ever. I was in college or just graduated when this whole thing shook down, and I remember watching him on TV. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. We're like, oh, damn. Like, he couldn't be any more hardcore. And then it comes out that he did. And he was like, yeah, I thought it was crazy that they defined sex as vaginal penetration. So we're like, wait, motherfucker, you know what they were asking you. You literally said to them, wait, can you define sexual intercourse, please? So that he could have on record. Because he's like, she just gave me a blowy. So I'm going to have a dodge here. And I remember thinking, oh, come on. It was admittedly gangster in that he was like, hey, you said it was this, and I didn't do that. Oh, God, so crazy. Kids are hilarious. They are hilarious.
Kevin says, you're good, Drudicus. You might be right. My understanding is it's mostly a Utah thing. I could be wrong about that.
I love it.
They said Drudicus, though.
Can we...
One of those are catching on.
Here's the thing. I love nicknames the most, but I don't know where Drew is with Drudicus. But I've always wanted to call him like Drewstifer. But since his real name is Andrew... I never thought he would go for it. So I've always stopped. But I love taking a short name and making it longer. Oh, the irony. My family calls me one of two names. Either JR, like don't let my dad fool you. He calls me JR. Or my in-laws call me Thomas Thomas. These are true stories. Because I had to get christened in the Greek Orthodox Church to get married in a Greek Orthodox church, which is a whole story. Remind me to tell you guys one day because it's hilarious. And they give you, the name that they give you when they christen you is your first name and your father's first name as your middle name. But I'm Thomas, but I was named after my dad who is also Thomas. So literally, as they're saying my name, we now christen you Thomas Billiou. And everyone starts laughing because you could tell he was like, wait, what? So yes, because in the Greek tradition, they don't do that. You don't get named after your father. So they were very like, what's happening right now? So yes, my in-laws call me Thomas Thomas, which is hysterical.
That's funny.
So I do love me a nice long nickname. Tom mentioned soaking. Wait, it went by too fast. My nephew was a baseball player at BYU, confirmed he soaked. This is amazing.
Let's go.
No Lambo, come on. This is amazing.
Get some soaks in the chat.
Get some soaks in the chat. It got weird real fast. It got real weird, but I'm here for it, chat. I'm here for it. Savannah McReynolds, soaking is literally the best word for that. Whoever started calling it that needs recognition.
No, that's
Savannah, these are facts.
It's a great date.
Soaking is not cheating.
Okay.
What does that mean?
Good luck
I'm not
convincing your
moving.
significant other.
I'm not moving.
That's
Does
crazy.
nobody...
That's
Wait,
crazy.
Can we not talk the first time to put it in? How, what, like, there was some moving involved in that. Why does the first one not count? You get like a freebie?
Okay,
I don't get it.
So I watch Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and one of them is an ex-Mormon, and she talks about it not being part of, like, if you went to whatever their version of the pastor is, I don't know if it's the pastor, that they would be like, if there was no like actual like thrusting while you were doing it, it does not count as like part of
This is crazy.
That's Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and I'm not a Mormon.
This is crazy. King Tut AI. Soaking is not cheating. This is wild. This is wild. King Tut. I don't know what people are thinking. This is madness. I will just say, I don't think I would get very far with my wife if I was like, what are you talking about? We just soaked.
I didn't move.
Well, I wasn't the one shaking the bed. This is crazy. I can't even believe that you would bring this up. Like, who's going to get away with that? That's madness. Madness.
Someone
everybody.
said I accidentally soaked.
I accidentally soaked. Let's talk about how this happens. Everybody, we do know what this is, right? I do not think one can accidentally soak. What are you clicking on when you do that? Does it automatically make that appear?
What are you talking about?
Somebody clicks on something.
Oh, it says add to broadcast under it.
And so that will make it auto appear?
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Let's go, G. I like that. This is hilarious. The sheets are soaked.
Sheets are soaked.
Ribsy, that got aggressive real fast. Ha ha ha. First is a freebie. Yeah, OG Shay, I don't know what's going on here. I do not. Castration level equals better not happen. Yes, facts. Super soaked. Shot by Esco. Come on now. That one's good. Whoever shake the bed pushed you into. Yeah, exactly. That's what I want to know. All right, here we go. Eduardo Bosca. Doge was the Lord of Venice. I don't know what that means. Anybody? Can anybody help me out here?
Cryptic.
It does sound cryptic. I don't know how to take the all caps Venice. All right, Savannah. But seriously, it's hilarious to me that soaking is even a concept or a possible theory because I grew up around, I assume, ton of LDS, and this is a total Mormon thing. They've got to be good at getting around it all. Yeah, that's so funny. So funny. Renee, peace out. Thank you for joining us. Always awesome.
Judicus Maximus.
Where are we at? Doge is Venetian king? Is this real? Drudicus Maximus. I like that one a lot.
I blame you, Kevin. You see what you did?
The funny thing is we can tell where somebody is in the broadcast by what they comment on.
Exactly.
Danilo DeVita. The title Doge was the title of the senior most elected official of both Venice and Genoa. Really? I didn't know that. Was it pronounced the same? Now we know. All right. I am going to go. Sorry, not sorry. I am going to go grab me my nicotine gum. I was sliding into first base here right at 8 a.m. this morning. Give me 2 seconds.
I didn't even look at the episode spreadsheet. Okay, we're here for episode, people.
We're here for the episode.
Not to talk about soaking. Let's
we should put that into the episode.
Soaking?
Community question. What do you guys think about?
Let's talk about soaking.
Let's.
That's funny.
Miggy Foxy, no animals on the shirt today. Just a plain blue shirt. Oh, God. King Tut says, what's a nicotine gum? Was Tom a previous smoker? No, he's not a previous smoker. I don't know how to honestly explain the nicotine gum because they're like, it makes me feel...
Yeah, it's like a focus thing.
Yeah.
Right 17, what's up, man? Yeah, it's like a focus thing. So some people use it as like a not an upper. What's the like a
Yeah, it's an upper.
like an upper.
It's focus.
What's the other?
Gives you a slight boost of energy.
Energy.
Is it like a pre-workout?
No. I mean, in the sense that they're both uppers, sure. But pre-workout's more caffeine. This is way more acute.
Okay.
So what I find with caffeine is it's like that sort of slow all day thing where if you go hard enough in the paint in the morning at 4 p.m., you've still got like, you just feel more alert. Whereas nicotine gum, it only lasts while you're chewing it.
Someone said stimulant?
Yeah,
Okay.
it is a stimulant.
Stimulant.
There we go. That it is, everybody. It's also just fun.
Oh,
We are all about neurochemical
see that?
manipulation.
I did.
What do we see?
we can let it slide? Or
Is it like a pre-soak?
Is it a pre-soak? That's hilarious. You can't buy nicotine gum?
Rai says they don't
Bro,
cause you
what's going on?
anxiety, Tom?
Rai. It does. So it's super crazy. The other day, I can't remember when I popped one, but I was like, oh shit, all of a sudden I'm having to manage my anxiety. It was crazy. So yeah, if you have anxiety, you have to be careful because it will. Like right now, especially because we're talking about it, it'll spike my anxiety a little bit, which is, if you're like me and you want to get good at something, is actually a pretty cool thing to do, especially now because I'm on camera. So to pop it while on camera, to have to manage my anxiety while speaking, is good. And so I know that's super fucking weird, but I love putting myself in situations where I can practice the thing in ultimately low stakes. Like if I was about to walk on stage, this is interesting. Should I ever chew nicotine gum when I'm about to walk on stage? Probably not, because stage spikes my anxiety a lot. And so that requires some serious management. So I probably wouldn't do it there because I don't need anything that's going to really make that hard. But it only does it for like 60 seconds. So it will like spike. Like right now, I can't tell if I'm having to manage it because we're talking about it or because I actually just popped the gum, probably the 1-2 punch. But it's not super crazy. It's only a couple times really caught me off guard where I was like, whoa, like this is really... also, it has to do with how much I'm chewing it. Like you'll notice I'm not chewing it now, mostly because you guys don't want to hear me chew into the microphone. But it is pretty useful. I like it a lot.
Is it, when you say anxiety, is it like the shakes type thing or like an actual like panic attack?
Panic attacks, exaggerations, definitely not that.
No, but I mean on the road to that, like that type.
Yeah, like it's the very first step on a road race
Yeah.
where it's like you've got to cross the finish line to say that it's like proper panic attack.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I've ever had a panic attack.
You're
Like
heart-
I've never thought, oh my
racing?
God, I'm having a heart attack or anything like that. Never gotten there. But back when I had generalized anxiety, I would start talking and you could hear it in my voice. And so I'd be like, what the fuck is going on? It was so weird. And of course the punchline ends up being I was drinking all these monsters and blah, blah, blah. But that was like, what am I nervous about? So yeah, it was crazy. The thing that caused me to realize I have to do something about this, I went home. This was before Lisa and I had found success. So we used to travel to our different relatives. Anyway, I was in London, doesn't matter. I'm in London and Lisa had this story that she really wanted me to tell her family because she thought it was hilarious or whatever. And the more she was like, I want you to tell the family, I want you to tell the family, the more I was like getting anxious about, oh fuck, I have to be entertaining. And it was just really making me anxious. And so then it was like, we're there, we're with the family. When I say family, I'm talking like 6 of us in a living room. And she was like, oh, tell them the story. And I couldn't do it because I was having like a proper, I mean, I could do it, but you could hear it in my voice. And I was like really anxious. And I was like, what is happening? Like, this is so weird. And so finally I said to Lisa, I was like, I've not wanted to tell you this because it makes me feel so weak, but I've struggled with anxiety for years. I have no idea what's going on. She's like, Jesus, oh my God. And she was super supportive and very cool about it. And that's when I was like, okay, not talking about this stuff is making it a bigger problem. So let me just talk about it. Then once I could talk about it, then I could actually address it. And I was like, something is going on. It's making me feel anxious all the time when I have no reason to feel anxious. Another time where my anxiety spiked and I was like, what is happening? I used to drive out of this parking garage, always turning clockwise. And one day, I don't remember why, I decided to go counterclockwise and it made me anxious. And I was like, what the, like, it just didn't make any sense. And so anyway, I start piecing it together. I'm like, something is happening. There's nothing specific that I can point to and be like, oh, this is high stakes. Like turning left instead of right is the lowest stakes thing ever. And the fact that that's making me feel anxious. So anyway, this is all early internet. It's not pre-internet, but it's early internet. So I can't find a lot of information on like what is happening. But the idea of generalized anxiety, I was like, yeah, that's exactly it. I don't know what's making me feel anxious, but something is making me feel anxious. It's not 100% diet, or I have not identified the thing in my diet that's still a problem. That could be, or a mineral deficiency or something. I've been meaning to experiment with magnesium. It's still there, but it's now hyper manageable. So you guys see me all day, every day. But there are times where I'm anxious and you guys just don't realize I'm anxious. So it's very interesting. So anyway, yes, nicotine gum does spike your anxiety, but for me at least, it's in a manageable range. Not a big deal. Go back. I love OCD, Tom. Now Drew needs to turn his mug too. He missed your cue. That's hilarious. I don't really have OCD. That's not my shtick, but I do like, this is going to sound super OCD. I enjoy balance. There he is. He's real. Everybody.
Free Eric.
Eric Rios.
Free Eric.
Where is that? I think we need oil. That's WD-40.
Yeah.
We're about to get high, everybody.
It's for plastics, so it should be a little better than the.
Look at that. Come on now.
Okay, this should be fine.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, G.
Eric is the man.
Eric is the man. All right. Go back. There's something about anxiety. Fennec check. Forgive me if that's not how you say it. But if you learn to manage that state, it's super helpful, right? When someone told me the feeling of anxiety is the same feeling top athletes describe as a state that gets them to perform, I started to enjoy the feeling before going to give a presentation in front of many people. I learned to lean in and frame it as, this is going to be good. That's very smart. I have not found that super helpful for me, but I hear a lot of people say that works for them. Whatever works for you. For me, the killer one is breathing from my diaphragm and then reminding myself that everything is practice. There is no performance. I manage with magnesium. See, I'm starting to hear that more and more. Miggy, I'm going to have to try that. Is it NeuroGum? No, it is not, James. It's just nicotine. So I use Blip randomly. This is just what Lisa's EA ordered me. So maybe the worst one on the market. I have no idea, but it is the one that does the trick. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, that was good. The grasshopper one.
Let's go. Where'd it go?
You see Google.
Google's AI co-scientist did in 48 hours what it took a team of scientists 10 years on drug-resistant antibiotics. I guarantee that's going to be one of the things that AI does is like protein folding, figuring out human biology, chemistry. That's going to be huge. Huge. I did not see that though. If that's recent, Drew, Ticus Maximus, we might want to include that in today's episode, which is going to be very future tech heavy.
Copy.
We have to watch the 50 minutes because we're now rapidly approaching 9:40. We have to be done by 11:55. We've got a super chat.
We do.
Let's go.
From Michael Holiday, because that's how they wrote it.
Let's go.
I manage my anxiety by switching my internal monologue voice to Samuel L. Jackson.
Let's go. I like it. I'm here for that.
G, go to the Slack and throw up.
I had a guy.
It's already up. The 15 minutes. Yep.
I had a guy on the show who, I forget his name. If one of you guys knows, you're my hero. Who, his backstory is brutal. And he started adopting a persona that allowed him to step outside of all the trauma that he had to be this like different version of himself who was far stronger, more confident. He said it really worked for him. It's what I used to call pushing my personality. So in fact, chat, part of the reason that I do the big energy thing with Drew before we go live is admittedly just on the surface. It's meant to get us hyped, to make sure that we like do the episode at a level that's going to be engaging, but it also helps me manage my anxiety. So it's me pushing my personality. This is how I used to do comedy, was I would be about to walk on stage and I'd be like, remember to push your personality into the room. And that sense of being bigger, I never thought of it as different, but like the biggest, loudest version of myself, and not literally in volume, but in sort of aggression of personality, was always super helpful. Someone's talking about kayfabe. I love kayfabe, but I don't know. Oh, you're bringing it up, the persona. Yes. That is exactly correct. If you guys don't know about kayfabe.
Can we jump into that Jeffrey Sachs?
All right, here we go, everybody.
G.
So the NATO enlargement, as you know, started Started in
1.5
1999 with Hungary, Poland, and the Czech Republic. And Russia was extremely unhappy about it. But these were countries still far from the border. And Russia protested, but of course to no avail. Then George Bush Jr. came in. When 9/11 occurred, President Putin pledged all support. And then the U.S. Decided in September 20th, 2001, that it would launch 7 wars in 5 years. And you can listen to General Wesley Clark online talk about that.
About 10 days after 9/11, I went through the Pentagon and I saw Secretary Rumsfeld and Deputy Secretary Wolfowitz. I went downstairs just to say hello to some of the people on the Joint Staff who used to work for me. And one of the generals called me in. He said, "Sir, you got to come in and talk to me a second." I said, "Well, you're too busy." He said, No. He says, "We've made the decision. We're going to war with Iraq." This was on or about the 20th of September. I said, "We're going to war with Iraq. Why?" He said, "I don't know." He said, "I guess they don't know what else to do."
That's not funny.
So I said, "Well, did they find some information connecting Saddam to Al-Qaeda?" He said, No. He says, "There's nothing new that way. They just made the decision to go to war with Iraq." He said, "I guess it's like we don't know what to do about terrorists, but we got a good military and we can take down governments." And he said, "I guess if the only tool you have is a hammer, every problem has to look like a nail." So I came back to see him a few weeks later, and by that time we were bombing in Afghanistan. I said, "Are we still going to war with Iraq?" And he said, "Oh, it's worse than that." He said, he reached over on his desk, he picked up a piece of paper. He said, I just got this down from upstairs, meaning the Secretary of Defense's office today. And he said, "This is a memo that describes how we're going to take out 7 countries in 5 years, starting with Iraq and then Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and finishing off Iran."
Jesus.
The truth is about the Middle East is, had there been no oil there, it would be like Africa. Nobody is threatening to intervene in Africa. The problem is the opposite. We keep asking for people to intervene and stop it. And there's no question that the presence of petroleum throughout the region has sparked great power involvement. Whether that was the specific motivation for the coup or not, I can't tell you. But there's always been this attitude that somehow we could intervene and use force in the region.
He was NATO's Supreme Commander in 1999. He went to the Pentagon on September 20th, 2001. He was handed the paper explaining 7 wars. These, by the way, were Netanyahu's wars. The idea was partly to clean up old Soviet allies and partly to take out supporters of Hamas and Hezbollah. Because Netanyahu's idea was there will be one state, thank you, only one state. It will be Israel. Israel will control all of the territory. And anyone that objects, we will overthrow. Not we exactly, our friend, the United States. That's U.S. policy until this morning. We don't know whether it will change. Now, the only wrinkle is that maybe the U.S. will own Gaza instead of Israel owning Gaza. But the idea has been around at least for 25 years. It actually goes back to a document called Clean Break that Netanyahu and his American political team put together in 1996 to end the idea of the 2-state solution. You can also find it online.
Pause it for a sec.
So these are projects. These are long-term events. These are...
Oh, that wasn't quite what we were looking for. Okay, so 1, yeah, red light. And then 2, Eunice, their chat is able to hear what we're listening to, right?
Chat has not said anything about the sound, and usually they do. So I'm
Okay,
assuming
cool.
yes.
Just want to make sure. And then can they see what's on the screen?
They can. Right now it's you because we're live cutting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just making sure. Okay, cool. And then because it would be amazing if we're able to watch extended clips like this together with chat, but I need to know that chat's not getting bored or disengaged because we're not talking to them. That's
Chat
the
is
priority.
replying with the video.
Yeah.
as well.
Okay, perfect. Just making sure that we, as the 3 of us, are paying attention to how this affects chat. If chat's in it and loves it, great. We'll keep doing this because this is very helpful for me. I just want to make sure that we don't abuse chat.
They said, not boring. This is great. We are good.
Glove
Okay,
Arm was like,
perfect.
"That was not boring. Thank you, Glove Arm."
Yeah. Well, we got more to go. So cool. But sorry, red light.
Yes. Atlas Information. Again, thank you again.
Our man.
After failed brain surgery, I immediately curtailed crippling
Yo.
anxiety, depression, even epilepsy with
Fuck.
GARD, glutamate, aspartate, restricted diet, magnesium, more, and mindfulness and meditation.
Let's go. I really got to give this magnesium thing a try. Thank you, Atlas. I appreciate that very, very. Can we screenshot that or something?
Yeah.
So I make sure that I look up
You want me to send it to you?
GARD. Yeah, Slack it. That'd be amazing. Thank you. Okay, back to our boy,
And that's Jeffrey Sachs for people asking in the chat.
Jeffrey Sachs. All right, try it. We'll see where we're at.
Of the 2-state solution. You can also find it online. So these are projects. These are long.
I think we have to back
These
up.
aren't, is it Clinton? Is it on September 20th, 2001? He was handed the paper explaining 7 wars. These, by the way, were Netanyahu's wars. The idea was partly to clean up old Soviet allies and partly to take out supporters of Hamas and Hezbollah. Because Netanyahu's idea was there will be one state, thank you, only one state. It will be Israel. Israel will control all of the territory.
Are we at 1.5?
We will overthrow. Not we exactly, our friend, the United States. That's U.S. policy until this morning. We don't know whether it will change. Now, the only wrinkle is that maybe the U.S. will own Gaza instead of Israel owning Gaza. But the idea has been around at least for 25 years. It actually goes back to a document called Clean Break that Netanyahu and his American political team put together in 1996 to end the idea of the two-state solution. You can also find it online. So these are
pause it for a sec.
Long-term events. These aren't, is it Clinton?
Okay, so when I talk about the velocity and volume of information, this is what I'm talking about. There's nowhere to hide anymore. All of this stuff is going to be known. Mm-hmm. Now, some people are going to put their heads down and not engage just because there's so much. And so they throw their hands up. I don't want anything to do with it. Other people like us are going to make shows around pulling this shit into the light and saying, this is how the world works. I don't know what the final reaction is going to be. We've never lived through a moment like this. The closest thing we have is the advent of the printing press. And when the printing press came online, it caused 30 years of massively destructive wars. Are we about to live through something similar? I think ultimately all of this stuff gets gobbled up by AI. AI will just be the bigger tsunami. But I really, really, really don't think now that Elon buying Twitter has broken the governmental stranglehold on what voices can be heard, I don't think we know what the world looks like. When people can say whatever they believe to be true, it can be broadcast fast and furious, that people can say things that end up, first of all throughout human history, people have been saying things that aren't true because the truth is next to impossible to define. When you're in the world of human interpretation, there is no quote unquote truth. That's not me saying that we live in a world where truth doesn't exist. Truth does exist. However, our ability to assess that truth is basically non-existent. We have a reaction to what we hear, and that just reverberates around like mad. I don't know what people are going to do with this information. And so when you look at a figure like Trump, this is people groping in the dark to find an answer to, hey, there's all this corruption and it needs to stop. And nobody knows what that means. They're just screaming into the void that it needs to stop. And so you get, this is also an economically populist moment. So this is all colliding at the same time. These are, you're going to get weird rogue waves of all of these things colliding together. But when I think about what the natural consequences are of a world where anybody can give you their interpretation of what is happening and that the narrative isn't controlled, I know that you have to do it because the only option is authoritarian top-down control. And that is a guaranteed death of like untold millions of people. Just history has played that out over and over and over and over and over. I don't know that it goes somewhere good though. So it could be super contentious. I say all of that because, dear chat, this is the game that we're playing. And we can go from Mormon soaking to being gaslit into starting 7 wars in 5 years, destabilizing regions, and watching it happen in real time. And again, not knowing exactly what you're seeing. But as somebody who is cautiously optimistic about the Trump regime, Trump era, whatever we want to call this, I also know that we just watched ethnic cleansing in Gaza, and you have somebody telling you exactly why it happened. A very reasonable constellation, a constellation nonetheless. This is not the truth, capital T, capital T. But it's a pretty decent read with high predictive validity. All right, anyway, back to our boy.
And receipts.
And receipts, facts. Play. Please.
Is it Bush? Is it Obama? That's the boring way to look at American politics, as the day-to-day game. But that's not what American politics is. As you know, Viktor Yanukovych was elected in 2010 on the platform of neutrality. Russia had no
we got to pull a clip from this for
interests
today's
or
episode.
designs in Ukraine at all. I know. I was there during these years. What Russia was negotiating was a 25-year lease to 2042 for Sevastopol Naval Base. That's it. not for Crimea, not for the Donbass, nothing like that. This idea that Putin is reconstructing the Russian Empire, this is childish propaganda, excuse me. If anyone knows the day-to-day and year-to-year history, this is childish stuff. Childish stuff seems to work better.
Okay,
than
pause
adult
it.
stuff. So-
What that might be one of the most important things that he's saying. Now, that constellation, okay, what people are going to call a narrative or propaganda, whatever, that constellation made a lot of sense to me. That if you look at Russia, if you look at Putin as somebody trying to aggregate the USSR for the same reason that we want a deal with Ukraine to get access to those minerals, and they're known as the breadbasket of Europe. You can understand why Putin would look at it and say, okay, I want to get this back from a resource perspective. And it's a constellation that has high predictive validity. But what he's saying is that there's an even better constellation that's going to have even more predictive validity. And this is why I say you need to seek out disconfirming evidence. So I consider myself, when he says that's a childish belief, my radar goes off. I hold that childish belief. Most people's impulse is to say, fuck this guy. Anytime you get your own constellation challenge, which is why I'm really leaning into that idea, which I did not think of. This came from somebody else. I now forget who said it, but I thought, ooh, that's a brilliant way to think of it. It's a much more neutral word. So it's like, okay, I'm going to remind myself, I'm just painting constellations that have utility, but that doesn't mean that they're entirely accurate. And going from Newtonian physics to Einsteinian physics opened up a whole new world. So is it possible that Jeffrey Sachs is now going to open up a way to view what's going on at the international level that's going to have higher predictive validity? The reason I am like going so hard in the paint on this is how I think everybody should think if you want good things in your life, is to say, okay, I'm not going to let my identity be tied up in the things that I believe. I'm just going to ask, what belief set has more predictive validity? Meaning, what belief set lets me navigate in my life in a way where I win more often? And if you can be obsessed with that, then he literally, in my mind, just called me out. And as an online personality, I have two choices. I can now double down and become tribal and be like, Jeffrey Sachs is a moron. And what the fuck does he know? And just look at the evidence. It's clear that he's trying to do this. Or I can say, I don't know that Jeffrey Sachs is right, but he may be about to open my eyes to something that's really useful. And so what I do, and this is interesting, I've never had to articulate this out loud even to myself, is I make my worldview permeable for a minute, and I open up and say, okay, for a second, I'm going to blow that constellation apart. And now I just see a bunch of dots in the sky. So now for the moment, I am lost at sea. I don't know how to get back to the shore. And that is terrifying for people. And I say, okay, I know I can always redraw the same constellation. So if what he gives me doesn't help me see better and navigate better, then I'll go back to my old constellation. But for a minute, I'm just going to blow everything apart and let it all be dots in the sky. He's going to draw a new map, and then I'm going to say, what does that let me do? And honestly, in the beginning, probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to set his constellation off to the side as a hypothesis, and I'm going to keep treating mine as a thesis. Now, the difference between the two is pretty important. Shout out to Brett Weinstein for putting this on my radar. A hypothesis is your best guess, but you've yet to test it. A thesis is something that you've tested, and it's the one you've tested a whole bunch of hypotheses and they've all been proven incorrect, except for one. That's when you've got a thesis. And that doesn't mean that there aren't more hypotheses to test. So I'm going to set his aside. This is a hypothesis that I'm going to now be looking at the world through the Jeffrey Sachs lens and say, does this have higher utility? If it does, I will slowly, or perhaps if I just see immediately, whoa, this is way better, I'll let go of all my old constellations and I'll adopt his new one, but have an equal willingness to blow his apart if somebody else brings another idea. And over time, your constellations get more and more effective. But you can't emotionally double down. And this is where I beseech everybody in my YouTube audience. When you comment things like, Tom, do you still believe that dumb fucking thing that you used to believe? I'm never going to double down. So I'm never going to be like, because I said it, I still believe it. The only thing that I stand by is that constantly seeking disconfirming evidence is massively useful. Now, if I argue my ideas, it is because I want to see how firm they are. Because I'm a verbal processor, I have to like get in and battle it out. So a lot of times if you see me in the feed, which I actually do less now because I hope that you guys show up here for the live, and we've just dedicated so many hours to this, it's hard to have more time. But if you ever see me really pushing my idea, it's to see if it will stand up, not because I'm afraid of being wrong. All right, back to Jeffrey.
Could you go up like 175? I feel like this.
Ooh, can I get you all the way to 2? Chat?
I feel like he's talking slow. We could probably handle 2. Because even 1.5 didn't feel.
Chat, please speak up. If it's going too fast, we'll slow it back down. All right. Hit it.
No designs at all. The United States decided this man must be overthrown. It's called a regime change operation. There have been about 100 of them by the United States, many in your countries, and many all over the world. That's what the CIA does for a living. Okay? Please know it. It's a very unusual kind of foreign policy. But in America, if you don't like the other side, you don't negotiate with them, you try to overthrow them.
That's crazy.
Preferably covertly. If it doesn't work covertly, you do it overtly. You always say it's not our fault. They're the aggressor. They're the other side. They're Hitler. That comes up every 2 or 3 years.
Pause it.
Whether it's Saddam Hussein, whether it's Assad, whether it's Putin.
This is why you need freedom of speech. This guy's not going to be arrested. He can literally go in front of the EU and say, America's doing dirty shit. And America's going to be like, word, let him say his thing. Yeah. This is why, boys and girls, freedom of speech is worth dying for. May I never be tested. But freedom of speech is worth dying for this reason. Let him say what he believes to be true. Now, if he's wrong, challenge him by all means. But man, let the man speak.
Just because someone in the chat said, who is he speaking to? I missed the initial context of the video.
This is to the EU, right?
EU Parliament, yeah.
This is to the EU Parliament.
There we go. All right, and this happened, when this happened, Friday?
Is this 2x or
This is 175.
Okay, well, everybody's saying this sounds fine.
This is good?
Yep.
Okay.
So we can go to 2?
Yeah, I was going to say Drew's guttural noise there was...
Yeah.
If everyone's fine at 175.
Everyone's fine at 175.
Do we keep pushing?
You should
Drew's
try,
got his eye on that
2
timer.
and we'll see what chat says.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, let's go to 2. Chat, let us know.
Let us
it's
know.
problematic. Hit it.
Yeah, 2x. Won't hurt to try.
That's very convenient. That's the only foreign policy explanation the American people are ever given anywhere. Well, we're facing Munich 1938. Well, we're facing Munich 1938. Can't talk to the other side. They're evil, implacable foes. That's the only model of foreign policy we ever hear from our mass media.
This is why it drives me crazy. Pause.
By the U.S. government.
Okay. I don't know if you have easy controls, G, but if you can back it up 20 seconds, that'd be great. The reason that this is so important is you don't ever want your leaders to not speak to the other side. And I get it. Speaking to them, like as far as I can tell, and I have never been there, but as far as I can tell, the North Korean regime is evil. And they are essentially just murdering their own people to keep them in check. Mm-hmm. That is bad, evil, sinister, unequivocally. However, going and talking to them is still the right answer. And you don't want to put people in a position where it's like the mere fact that you spoke to Hitler means you're a bad person. That's not the play. So you want people to have a relationship. You want people to have the red phone that JFK and I think Khrushchev had, so that we don't accidentally kill each other. These guys end up getting in these echo chambers that is absolutely terrifying. And their own people are afraid to say something because they will get killed. And so the only way to build any sort of relationship with them is to talk. All right, back to Jeffrey.
Munich 1938. Well, we're facing Munich 1938. Can't talk to the other side. They're evil, implacable foes. That's the only model of foreign policy we ever hear from our mass media. And the mass media repeats it entirely because it's completely suborned by the U.S. government. I begged the Ukrainians, and I had a track record with the Ukrainians. I advised the Ukrainians. I'm not anti-Ukrainian, I'm pro-Ukrainian completely. I said, save your lives, save your sovereignty, save your territory, be neutral. Don't listen to the Americans. I repeated to them the famous adage of Henry Kissinger, that to be an enemy of the United States is dangerous, but to be a friend is fatal. Okay, so let me repeat that for Europe. To be an enemy of the United States is dangerous, but to be a friend is fatal. Trump does not want the losing hand. This is why it is more likely than not this war will end, because Trump and President Putin will agree to end the war. If Europe does all its great warmongering, it doesn't matter. The war is ending. So get it out of your system. Please tell your colleagues. It's over. And it's over because Trump doesn't want to carry a loser. That's it. It's not some great morality. He doesn't want to carry a loser. This is a loser.
Pause it.
The one that will be saved by the negotiations taking place right.
I need to know you guys heard that. It's going to be over because he doesn't want to carry a loser. That's it. Like high predictive validity. When you really look at, somebody hit the James Burnham button for me? When you look at man as political animal, as the most predictable species on planet Earth, you understand people will lie and spin to maintain power. And Trump campaigned on this because it was very popular. It got him into power, and he knows if he doesn't deliver on this, that he's going to have a losing hand. And so he's never going to let it happen. Trump is extremely good at negotiating based on the leverage that he has. Leverage, boys and girls, leverage is everything. I was once accused in business of not having a killer instinct, and I think they were right. Because even when I have leverage, when it doesn't feel good, I don't press the advantage. I know that about myself. And so it is what it is. When you look at people who do extremely well at this level, they press the fucking advantage. And so Trump will make a lot more sense to you if you ignore the exact words he says and start building a mental model of him, of somebody who is exceptionally savvy politically. He knows how to get elected. If you waste time with the narrative that he's a moron, he will confuse the shit out of you by continuing to win. And yeah, high predictive validity. Hit us with it, Eunice.
Just want to point out that Ribsy in the chat said ipso saxo. And I think that's
too
such
good.
a good moment.
That's too good not to call out.
And I just
That's
found
good.
out Lynette in the chat just dropped that Booker T. Washington is getting a statue in the.
Let's
that's a callback from last episode.
go.
So thank you,
Let's
Lynette, for
go.
bringing that back up to us.
That man is my hero. Read there is a biography. I'm sure there's a gazillion of them, and I don't remember which one I read. And if anybody cares, I will look it up eventually. Yeah, make your own bricks.
Yeah.
Get so
All
good
right.
they can't stop you.
Let's power through. 2X.
Ipso saxo.
Is fatal. Okay, so let me repeat that for Europe. To be an enemy of the United States is dangerous, but to be a friend is fatal.
Two.
Trump does not want the losing hand.
And then as soon as you hit
This is
that,
why-
hit pause. Red.
We got a super chat from RJ Johnson.
Let's go. RJ with like multiple today. Killing the game. Where are we
He
at?
said, I wrote a book, 7 Secrets of a Stress-Free Life. Secret 4 is give up being right.
There you go. That is exceedingly good advice, RJ. Exceedingly good advice.
Shout out to RJ.
Thank
All
you,
right.
RJ.
Ipso saxo. Let's go.
Thank you, Ribsy, for that ipso saxo.
Oh, infinity. Let's go.
Sorry, guys. He's over.
We'll get better at this, chat. Have no fear.
It is more likely than not this war will end, because Trump and President Putin will agree to end the war. If Europe does all its great warmongering, it doesn't matter. The war is ending. So get it out of your system. Please tell your colleagues. It's over. And it's over because Trump doesn't want to carry a loser. That's it. It's not some great morality. He doesn't want to carry a loser. This is a loser. The one that will be saved by the negotiations taking place right now is Ukraine. Second is Europe. Your stock market's rising in recent days by the horrible news of negotiations. I know this has been met with the sheer horror in these chambers, but this is the best news that you could get. Now, I encouraged, they don't listen to me, but I tried to reach out to some of the European leaders. Most don't want to hear anything from me at all. But I said, don't go to Kiev. Go to Moscow. Discuss with your counterparts. Are you kidding? You're Europe. You're 450 million people. You're a $20 trillion economy. You should be the main economic trading partner of Russia. It's natural links. By the way, if anyone would like to discuss how the U.S. blew up Nord Stream, I'd be happy to talk about that.
Realpolitik. Who is the guy? It's not Victor Davis Hanson that beats that drum. Who's the other guy? One of my two
Mearsheimer?
old guys, Mearsheimer. Mearsheimer beats that drum. Boys and girls, spend some time with Mearsheimer. His whole thing about people pretending that this is not a game of realpolitik, get lost in the Green New Deal of it all, get lost in the he's a bad guy, I'm not going to talk to him of it all. Strong men go smash. Like, that just is what this is. And if Europe is as big as they are, as economically powerful as they are, and they're dealing with Zelensky because of the morality of it all, this is how the war drags on. This is how you become a puppet of the U.S. It's crazy. All right. Back to it, please.
On the Middle East, by the way, the U.S. completely handed over foreign policy to Netanyahu 30 years ago. The Israel lobby dominates American politics. Just have no doubt about it. I could explain for hours how it works. It's very dangerous. I'm hoping that Trump will not destroy his administration and worse, the Palestinian people, because of Netanyahu, who I regard as a war criminal, properly indicted by the ICC, and that needs to be told no more, that there will be a state of Palestine on the borders of the 4th of June, 1967, according to international law, as the only way for peace. It's the only way for Europe to have peace on your borders with the Middle East, is the two-state solution.
Okay, so here's where his constellation bumps up against base assumptions that I have, that unless he can help me overcome the base assumptions, then we're going to struggle. It does not seem that certainly Hamas wants a two-state solution. And as long as that is true, you're not going to get a two-state solution. Here's where we need scholars. I've listened to hours and hours and hours of people battling back and forth. And so I fear that they get lost in the human interpretation of it all. But the fact that if the following base assumption is correct, that Israel has said, I would say yes to this, and they say no to it, now we're in a spiral. Now it's possible that spin and they've had very reasonable plans put forward that Israel said no to, and I just don't know about it. That is very possible. But that is a base assumption running in my mind, that you have one side that just absolutely will not let Israel stand as a state. Anyway, identifying your base assumptions so you know what would need to be challenged in order for you to update your worldview, I think is really important. Having a question, what would need to be true for me to change my mind, is a very useful thought exercise. So as he was saying that again, I felt like, that bumps up against part of my constellation. What's the base assumption running my constellation? It's this. Now at least I know what I would need to go either dismantle or have somebody give me a better image on. That's the reason that you're going to hear me bang on about stuff like this a lot. I care very much that this show is useful to you guys and not just entertaining. And thinking in that way, I have found extremely useful. So anyway, I will continue to bang on about it. Play, please.
There is only one obstacle to it, by the way, and that is the veto of the United States in the UN Security Council. So if you want to have some influence, tell the United States, drop the veto. You are together with 180 countries in the world. The only ones that oppose a Palestinian state are the United States, Israel, Micronesia, Nauru, Palau, Papua New Guinea, Mr. Malay, and Paraguay. So this is a place where Europe could have a big influence. Europe has gone silent about the JCPOA and Iran. Netanyahu's greatest dream in life is a war between the United States and Iran. He's not given up, and it's not impossible that would come also. And that's because the U.S. in this regard does not have an independent foreign policy. It is run by Israel. It's tragic. It's amazing, by the way.
Can you pause it for a second for
Trump may say,
camera shenanigans? Are you worried about team meeting? Yeah, sorry, I should have actually said it out loud. We're going to have to push it. 30? Eternally. So if you look at the schedule, whatever time we start, 4 hours later is when we'll be done. Not literally never a minute sooner. So Drew and I were talking about that. We either have to start at 7 a.m. so that we can be done by 11, or if we have an 8 start, we have to push it back. So I haven't looked at my calendar. I know I have something at noon, so I won't be able to do it at noon. It's possible that we just have to forego it for today, and that Drew and I need to sit down and map everything out from a timing perspective. But as the content goes, so goes impact theory. So, all right, cool. Sorry, guys. Back to it.
That he wants foreign policy back. Maybe. I'm hoping that it's the case. Finally, let me just say with respect to China, China is not an enemy. China is just a success story. That's why it is viewed by the United States as an enemy, because China is a bigger economy than the United States. Russia is not going to invade Europe. This is the fundamental point.
I don't know that he's
It may
right
get up
about
to the
that
Dnieper
one.
River.
Yeah, I don't know that he's being.
Not an enemy.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I don't know that he's being honest about how just as the United States can bully the world because we've gotten into such a successful position, that China will bully the world as they get into a successful position, and that does not bode well for us.
Are we projecting what U.S. did on China though, and China hasn't actually done that yet? It's like one of those things. Like because I was a bully when I got to that position, you're going to become a bully when you get to that position.
I'm at the headline level,
Yeah.
so I will need to dig deeper to have more conviction on the following. There is a reason that they're doing all the Belt and Road initiatives. There is a reason that they have said very publicly that we did, I think they call it 100 years of humiliation, and that we're never going to do it again, and that we're never going to be in a weak position again. Like China has said a lot of shit that's like, we're taking back Taiwan. It is what it is. I think they believe that part of Japan is rightfully theirs. They have an unrelenting amount of hatred for Japan and Korea, I think. So I think my base assumption right now is that to assume that China's just like, oh my, we're just winning, is the most historically absurd way to look at it. Like, look at Mao, bro. Like, these guys don't fuck around. They literally took Jack Ma and were like, oh, you think you're tough? Fucking slapped him around for like 6 months. He comes back into public, is a different fucking human being. Dude, yeah. I think giving China the benefit of the doubt when they presumably have concentration camps with Uyghur minorities in it is a bad fucking play. Now, I fully accept that Jeffrey Sachs knows a lot about the fucking world, so it's possible. He sits down, he walks me through a set of facts. I'm like, oh, damn, he's got a better constellation. But I doubt it because it's not in step with what I know about the world. So the reason that I'm pro-America being as strong as they are is because I'm fucking American. If I was in Paraguay, I'd be like, fuck that. Like, I want Paraguay strength. I get it. And so you hear me talk about this a lot inside the company. It's tension between two sides. And so I don't necessarily hate a multipolar world where China is strong, but I don't like a world where we pretend that China isn't a competitor. I think they're playing to win. And I think they'd be perfectly happy to have global dominance. I don't know any country that'd be like, nah, that doesn't sound good. I just think in reality, that's how it always plays out. And people only stop when they're forced to.
Or when the bill comes due.
Yeah, that's the thing that would stop them. All right. Hit it. Oh, sorry. Oh,
Red
God.
light,
Don't
red
start.
light.
Red light. You flashed it. That was nice.
I gotta get your attention somehow.
Smart.
If there's, seizure warning. No. Just kidding. RJ sent a super chat. RJ said he sent it earlier, so maybe this is just coming in late. But he said, Tom, thank your dad sincerely. If I had your ears, I would be a multi-millionaire with a 100 emoji, explosion emoji,
Guaranteed.
fire emoji.
I overshot the mark of trying to make up for being relentlessly ridiculed for my ears. It's all true. It's all true. RJ, I will pass that on. That's amazing.
Thank you again, RJ, for all your super chats today. Thank you.
No doubt.
It's not going to invade Europe. But there are real issues. The main issue for Russia was the United States, because Russia, as a major power and the largest nuclear power in the world, was profoundly concerned about U.S. unipolarity from the beginning. Now that this is seemingly, possibly ending, Europe has to open negotiations directly with Russia as well, because the United States will quickly lose interest, and you're going to be living with Russia for the next thousands of years. Okay? So what do you want? You want to make sure that the Baltic states are secure. The best thing for the Baltic states is to stop their Russophobia. This is the most important thing. Estonia has about 25% Russian citizens, Russian-speaking citizens, ethnic Russians. Latvia the same. Don't provoke the neighbor. That's all. This is not hard. It really isn't hard. And again, I want to explain my point of view. I have helped these countries, the ones I'm talking about, trying to advise. I'm not their enemy. I'm not Putin's puppet. I'm not Putin's apologist. I worked in Estonia. They gave me, I think it's the second highest civilian honor that a president of Estonia can bestow on a non-national, because I designed their currency system for them in 1992. So I'm giving them advice. Do not stand there, Estonia, and say, we want to break up Russia. Are you kidding? Don't. This is not how to survive in this world. You survive with mutual respect, actually. You survive in negotiation. You survive in discussion. You don't outlaw the Russian language. Not a good idea when 25% of your population has a first language of Russian. It's not right even if there weren't a giant on the border. It wouldn't be the right thing to do. You'd have it as an official language. You'd have a language in lower school. You wouldn't antagonize the Russian Orthodox Church. So basically, we need to behave like grown-ups. And when I constantly say that they're acting like children, Sonia always says to me, that's unfair to children. Because this is worse than children. We have a 6-year-old granddaughter and a 3-year-old grandson, and they actually make up with their friends. And we don't tell them, go, just ridicule them tomorrow and every day. We say, go, give them a hug and go play. And they do. This is not hard. Anyway, I won't belabor the point. Thank you. So, elected new government. No, I shouldn't say that. All I should say is change policy.
Jeffrey Sachs.
Dude, that was gangster.
Sheesh.
That's so good. So good, man. I really want to get that guy on the show. That is really, really insightful. Really insightful. Leonidas, let's go. He woke up that day and said, I'm saying it all, screw it, I'm over it. Yeah, I have a feeling, though, that he's been doing this for a very long time. Banging that drum, trying to get people to listen, but just doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. Red light, hit us with it.
I just want to throw in a quick reminder because
do it.
I got a message that you have a live coaching with ITU at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time today.
Oh, wait, this is our team trying to
Correct.
hype that train?
No,
But you already have to be in ITU.
you have.
Oh, yeah, we know.
Okay.
But thank you.
They're just reminding me to remind
Was it Will or
No.
Hanada?
Hanada.
Okay, word. Yep,
Don't forget.
on it. Yes,
Finger guns on.
definitely all help me. But we said that we'd be done by 11:55. Okay, and with that, we really do have to now shape the episode, unless that red light is real. Did we just forget to turn it off? Eunice?
What?
Red light?
Oh, yeah. I forgot to turn it off.
All good?
I'll flash it again.
Okay.
You like that?
I do like
Thank
that. It's money. Okay, everybody. We are now in full-blown episode prep because we have to start the episode no later than 11. So we have 45 minutes. By the way, chat, I hope that you really enjoyed that clip as much as I did. For watching that with you guys is awesome. That will make my life way better if we can do this stuff together. So amazing. Amazing. All right, Drew, I think the heartbeat of this episode, God damn it, that Jeffrey Sachs thing really fucking throws a wrench in this. I still think that hitting it with the event horizon is the right answer. Mm-hmm. I flagged that. It's got a very weird colored background in the spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Chat, would you chime in? I think we want to make this document available to you guys. Drew seems a little hesitant. So if you want to see it made so you guys can actually watch this document while we do our thing, you're going to have to harangue Drew.
I'm hesitant about it too.
Also, interesting. Why?
It just doesn't look the best.
So?
Also, would you be like live editing so they could see exactly what you're adding in every time?
Yeah.
At the bottom of the chat.
Okay.
Yeah, let them watch all week.
Okay.
Chat, I don't know why they want to keep you guys out. I'm all, let's go in. Let's go in, chat. I get, like, start a new one so that we don't have to. Did you delete all my, you did. You're starting to clean it up.
I deleted all. I didn't delete anything.
All the old tabs are gone.
Oh, yeah, I just hid them.
They're hidden.
Yeah.
Oh.
Come on. Classic Excel.
Um,
Hide the tab.
Yeah.
No?
I love it.
I like the AI start though.
You see him dodging the question, chat? Do you see that? Do you see what he's doing? Sorry.
What dodge? I mean, we can share it. It's a document. If you guys want to see a.
Someone said not the document, too distracting.
Interesting.
Like the chat, not the document, too distracting.
Norway. That,
Okay.
Someone said, give it to us, please.
There we go. Truth, wisdom, love. I'm with you. I don't know. This is going to be weird. I thought you guys were going to all just come pouring in like, give him the document. Ribsy, you won't be super impressed by the document, but it will let you see what we plan. Okay, here we go. America Bad Derp. Wave Rider. Who is saying America Bad? You think Jeffrey Sachs is saying America Bad? Whatever is interesting. Share. Document for the creators. I don't know what that means. Okay. All right. Tom Trump named Booker T. Washington. Watch the actual clip of him naming. I did watch and he didn't say it. I must have seen an edited clip, but he did not say his name in the part that I looked at. Actually, is that true? Maybe I did see it in print. Maybe that was the fatal flaw. People don't like truth. I don't know if that's true, Ick. Can't tell if your name's Zick X or Ick. Scott
Like
Horton,
that.
here's
Like
a who?
Elon's child name.
Zick?
Well, remember because Elon named his kid like
X.
A-E-A.
Yeah, that's just wacky. That's wacky. Document. All right. So some people want the document. I think we've only seen one person throw shade on it, but we'll see. America's complex. Aaron, you are correct.
So
Okay.
document for the.
Let's go. All right. Event Horizon. AI tutor for kids. So somebody, I don't know if you guys have seen this yet, but somebody made the exact thing I was saying that they will do. Big brains are getting smaller. That one's fun. Oh yeah, Grok gave instructions for a nuke, everybody. Whoops.
Okay, future tech start.
Yup. Start taking notes on this.
So with the Event Horizon, I feel like yes, it's that's kind of setting the stage for future tech coming.
Yep.
So I feel like we can jump off with that tweet and then go boom, boom, boom with the.
And it was trending on Twitter, which is good. And this episode's going out today, right?
Yeah.
So we are now on the same day release schedule. So we launched one this morning, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And we have another one coming out today. And then we have a slight hiccup this week.
We just got to
Right.
talk to ITU on Wednesday.
Okay, so we might not be able to do it fully this week, but starting next week, 1,000%, because I don't know if they may have already started marketing it,
Copy.
which means they won't be able to move it. But
Not next week either.
why?
I just saw your calendar.
Because I travel?
Yep.
Where you
Oh,
going?
okay. Is that Texas?
Yep.
Tejas. I am going on a show. I don't know if he wants me. It's not Rogan, so anybody that's going there immediately don't. I just don't know if he's announced it or if he cares. So,
Copy. But we should get the interview with the person that you're going on there. Can we do a swap?
yeah, you know who it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. While I'm there, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't see why not.
Yeah, we should. There's a.
Let me talk to him first
Okay.
because it's hours of commitment. But yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Let us. I asked that because this episode goes out today.
Thank you everybody for the feedback on the document, and if you guys want it or not, these are very good suggestions. We'll take all of them into consideration. We'll clean up the document, and then Drew will decide
Sheesh.
when he wants to,
Sheesh.
what he wants to do. What he wants to do.
Guys, you don't want to look at a spreadsheet. You know, you guys want to do the more exciting things like bits and chat and Eunice's animal clothing. You don't want to see.
But I'm not wearing animals today, but I was already told that I need to wear it for the next one. So
Well,
I'm getting a list of demands now, which
That's how chat rolls. Get
Chat,
used
you guys
to
need-
that.
You guys need to
they
relax.
said
Get
you need
used to
wear it.
that.
Where's your branding?
Yeah. Which is true. It's so funny. I hate doing it for myself, but turning other people into like a brand, I'm here for. Like if you were non-stop animal clothes, your popularity would skyrocket. I'm not kidding.
My credit card bill gonna be fire this month then, because I'm gonna have to buy animal clothes.
Let's go. Let's go.
That's when you have to, hey, Mr. Bill. It's
Thanks.
for your chat.
Hey, Thomas.
Your
He's-
people want
he's not
it.
wrong.
Your chat.
We're
want
suddenly doing all the shopping at the
Eunice asked for wardrobe
the
allowance.
used store, but
Live experiment gets it.
Where's Tom's stand-up special?
never coming. Wave Rider T. Sachs is always hating on the US and shilling for China and Russia. Wave, think of everybody as an AI. And so now you have a really useful AI that takes that perspective. I think using the words like shilling is probably going to deafen you to what they're actually saying, but nonetheless, very useful. So Lyrith says, Tom should totally get a time slot on the All In podcast, and with Jeff there too would be crazy fun. That would be amazing. Anytime that I can be with Jeffrey Sachs, I'm here for it. Also, I dig the All In podcast for Schways. Mav, can you give an example? I don't think I have the context for that. King Tut, why does Eunice look so natural in front of the camera? Eunice used to be a streamer. Let's go.
That's crazy.
Why is that crazy? It's true.
Well, you just outed me like that. That's crazy.
Oh, you don't even want people to know that you said what?
No, I'm not on the internet anymore, people.
You're literally live on the internet right now. What is happening? What?
I should say, I personally, as a person, Eunice Sanchez, do not
You said your last name. I don't think I've ever said it.
It's been on the chat before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then there's that.
Yeah. We're good. Thank you, everybody. That's so kind. I appreciate it.
Okay.
You nice. Yep. Let's talk about why doesn't Drew want us soaking the document?
I don't understand. Soak away. What is happening? I'll shake the bed. You guys get straight to the soaking, and I'll be over here,
actually,
giving the vibration. Let's
I saw
go.
a really funny TikTok of this couple. This girl was at BYU or something like that, and she was going up to different couples, and she was like, "You guys need a shaker?" She said, "I'll do it for free," and they were like,
That's
"Real?
amazing.
Like, for real?" And she was like, "Yeah," and they were like, "Okay, should
So this went from I'm trying to be a good boy and girl to proper kinky sex where you've got other people in the room with you. This is amazing. This is what kids are like. So funny.
This is what kids are like.
So funny.
Big brain's getting smaller. I like it, but I feel like next to a mech, it doesn't really.
So not juicy enough.
Yeah, because isn't NVIDIA doing the same thing
Yes.
with their 700 supercomputer?
Yes.
And that was I love Raspberry Pi. It's no shade to them, but it's just
The reason I was into this may be deeply personal, so it's possible nobody cares. But this was the thing that made me go, wait a second. I can now make my Furby that you can have a proper relationship with because it's cheap and it fits inside your thing.
Is that how you're gonna soft launch an AI kid? Is by getting an AI Furby first?
Literally. The best way to predict the future is to invent it. So did I say prevent it? Invent it, if I misspoke. So yes.
It's just gonna be a day where a little crew. You said crew grew. CRU.
Yeah. I take it you have not seen the movie. Did anybody ever chime in with what that movie was? Oh, I'm sad to think that we just missed it. Okay. Yes, I'm perfectly happy to skip that one.
I don't think it's this one. The movie's not called Crew.
No.
Oh yeah, no, nobody ever chimed in what movie that was, so you're alone. That was last week, by the way, right?
Yeah.
With the baby, yeah. Your AI.
Oh, that's interesting. There is a movie called CRU.
That's what I was like.
Oh, but it comes up immediately on IMDb. So the correct answer does show up.
How do you spell it? Is it CRU?
CRU.
CRU.
And I was convinced I was naming my child that for sure.
I still can't see it.
What?
Crusade for Christ?
It's so funny how you get these that your searches are so different.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
That's just what popped up as Google's AI response.
Let's scroll down. Oh.
By the way.
I was just doing a Google search.
Oh.
Okay, Grok gives instructions for a nuke, I think is big enough to go. And then I definitely want to talk about the AI tutor for kids because it's such a clear vision for what's going to happen. But with the event horizon stuff, we really have to get into the game dev because I'm paying so much attention and how fast that's changing is crazy. And now that Elon is in the AI game good and proper, I think we're going to see a rate of change that we are not used to.
And at the very minimum, he's going to put the pedal to the metal to everybody else.
For sure.
They're going to want to outrun him. So, did you see Eunice, the the dude who did the 7 From Software games back to back? Who be Bloodbane?
Oh, New Game 7. New Game plus 7. That guy?
I don't know if that's his name, but yeah, he just did the most gangster run of all time.
Mm-hmm.
He starts crying.
I did see that. Yes, that is extremely difficult, by the way.
Yeah,
New Game plus 7 is replaying the game over 8 times, by the way, because plus 7 means you've already done it. So.
Jesus.
Yep.
But without taking a single hit of damage.
Yeah. A single hit.
Dude, it's hard enough to beat the game.
I know.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But we also have to talk about when we're talking about that, is that a good use of a human life? Or are we living in a moment where people are setting weird fucking challenges for themselves?
I mean, think about
I
the
don't
speedrunners,
have a strong
though,
answer.
who do that all the time.
I know,
and they
but
do it for charity, though.
Yes.
You know?
No.
So what's your take? Good use of a human existence.
Yeah. I mean, okay, let me bring us back to this conversation that me and you had last year of hey, in Overwatch, I'm kind of grinding comp out, but I feel like it's not a good use of my time when I get home. And you were like, what the heck? That's so cool. And I was like, well, yeah, but it also just feels like a waste of time because I'm just playing Overwatch for 6 hours a day. Doesn't feel right. But I was like, but once I hit like, Grandmaster or whatever, I'm done playing Overwatch. And then you were like, yeah, setting a goal is normal.
Setting a goal is normal.
Yeah, and then you're like, once you hit that goal, good. But also it feels like this is the same thing for him. That's his goal. Once he hit it,
Here's how I look at him. You can't throw shade on him and then be all for a soccer player.
That's where I was going. I was like,
Yeah.
it's like he's LeBron of video games. Like, that's really hard to do. I can't even get through half of those games, let alone getting through without getting a hit. Like, that's crazy.
Crazy. That's where I come down.
No,
To me, this is like an athlete, but I think it's a worthwhile question.
Actual sports thing when people are like, "Why are you playing games? Just go outside." And I'm like, "Well, you're watching the sport. You're not even playing the sport.
Yeah.
So you go outside too, brother."
Pull that gun out, Eunice. That's what I'm talking about.
I keep that
think
bang
you're right.
on me. How about that?
Wow. As people would expect. Now, see, that would have been way funnier if you had little bunny ears on your overalls as you said that.
I can only wear those so many times. You listen.
Wardrobe budget.
I don't have an in-unit washer dryer, so I got to get quarters to go downstairs.
Oh man, I remember that phase of my life.
Every-
That's a real thing.
Gotta
I
wash
remember it all too well, Eunice. I remember it all too well. Okay, we've got Event Horizon, AI Tutor.
Yeti Bandit, do you mean by like being Steve Jobs by like he wore the same exact outfit every day? So I should just be
In that bunny
wearing
outfit.
wearing
I
the bunny
prefer
outfit
a
every day.
menagerie of animals. Would be if I can chime in on your branding.
Yeah.
I prefer to see it as a full zoonautical like trip.
You know what's funny is that I actually do have a dress with a bunch of zoo animals.
Let's go.
That I got because I was like, wow, next time I go to the zoo, I'm gonna be rocking that fit.
And
But
they're
I
gonna be
haven't
like,
been to the zoo.
oh,
Yeah, but I
like
haven't been
that?
to the zoo yet. So,
I
damn.
hate the zoo.
well,
Uh-oh.
It's animal prison.
yeah.
It is a bit
I
animal
agree.
prison. You're not wrong.
But have you
about
been to the
that.
San Diego Zoo? That place is kind of lit.
It's a pretty animal prison.
That's tough.
It's
That's
depressing.
tough.
kinda cute.
Don't watch the documentary Blackfish. Have you seen Blackfish?
Yes, I have.
Yo,
I
that shit is dark.
that-
I couldn't make it through the whole thing. My wife was like, I must leave immediately. And I was like, kind of glad. I was like, yeah,
Poor
I'm
Tilcom.
not mad about that. I was like, I just got to go be with my wife right now. It's so rough.
It is.
So rough. I don't remember if it was Tillicum that I saw, but one of them was being rehabilitated at a gigantic aquarium in Oregon. And I got to go there after hours to where the trainers keep an eye on it. So there's like this big window and he would just lower himself down and look through the fucking window. It was eerie. But I don't know. It was the one that had, it was the one that was in Free Willy. Which one was in Free Willy? There's a real life whale. I forget. You can find his name, but did they release him? Because it might have been like they were getting him ready to be. I am making all of this up, except for the fact that I was in an aquarium after hours in Oregon, and the one that played Free Willy lowered himself into the window. But I can't remember what they were doing with him. But they were doing something special, which is why we were able to see it, because he wasn't like viewable by the public. Trippy. God, I hadn't thought about that in years.
We should react to the Piers Morgan inequality thing.
Piers Morgan inequality.
Yeah.
With Gary Economics? Yes, indeed. Now, what timestamp is going to be the question? And we have 27 and a half minutes to figure it out. I will leave you to figuring out which clips are going the most viral.
And once again, guys, while we are gathering clips and some links and topics, wow, I just saw myself on the screen. That's crazy. Please make sure to put them in the Discord.
Discord.
I can send them over to Drew and Tom if you have a specific timestamp you want to share, or a specific topic, or if it's anything relevant to what we've been speaking about today. I just put the linky poo for the Discord in the chat. Please send us over some stuff. I'm looking at everything. I really appreciate it. Also, if you have any other of those like questions you want to ask Tom in the future, you can also put those there. We're compiling them, gathering them for a separate time once we are no longer in, prep mode or whatever. Let's go back through chat. Let's see. Ooh, this is a good one for you, Drew. Decapitated says, people complaining about zoos being animal prisons are just fine with factory farming. Factory farming.
Ooh.
I
There's some
don't
heat on
eat
that.
tilapia because they farm them.
What? Say that again?
I don't eat tilapia because it's a farmed fish. So I'm not okay.
What
with
about
that.
chickens, though?
I'm not okay with factory farming.
Chickens? I think we caught him. We got him, chat. Now I'm over here just enslaving every last animal ever. So I'm
Drew
not
is
above
a
reproach.
fish hater.
I had red snapper yesterday.
King Tut. Going hard in the paint over here.
Kid Mood, you didn't have to put me on blast like that.
Drew.
I know. Kid Moon's not for
Sheesh.
play.
Yeah, Drew.
There's a lot of W's on there, Kid Moon.
Do you
She's
not
kid.
eat chicken, beef, pork? With the XD face. They threw the XD face on you.
And whoever said, can we talk about the Grok AI improvements? That is going to be the start of the show. So indeed.
SW, where do you send videos with timestamps? Where in the Discord? It is the channel called #TomBilliouShow in the Discord. You could send the video with the timestamp there. I will pass it along. Thank you very much. Someone said, Hipocresía exposed, LOL, to Drew. What about the Wild Animal Park? The Wild Animal Park. I think that's also in San Diego. No, there's a few. There's 2 of them. I think I've seen one. Like one's like a safari thing, and then you can like ride a hot air balloon in San Diego. I didn't ride the hot air balloon, but I think you could see it. Everyone loves chicken. Chicken is great. Let's not talk about chicken for the 4th live stream in a row. We love it though. Eunice, are you Mexican? Yes, I am. Thank you. What's everyone's speed up maxes? What is Tom Bilyeu's research speed, Drew's, and yours? Curious if Tom could do 4x.
No, definitely not.
Tom says no.
2x tops me out at normal human speech. I only do faster than that if it's Audible. Where Audible, they tell the person reading the book to read so fucking slowly. But no, normal human speech at 2x is perfect. Faster than that, it's just unintelligible. I mean, I can hear what they're saying, but it's just going by so fast.
Drew, your research speed? What do you usually do?
175. 175 is typically my limit. Unless somebody's speaking really, really slow, then I go up to 2.
And I would say mine is normal because I have never ever listened to anything like quicker than 1x speed because it doesn't seem right to me. I actually also just learned that on Twitter, if you hold down the side, you could watch the video faster.
Wait, whoa. Say that again. Where?
On Twitter,
You can hold down what button?
the side of the video, and it just goes faster. See?
But you can also just select speed up.
Right, but if you're like watching it like this on your phone,
Just like real
you know how
quick?
you hold it?
That's a good tip.
If you just hold it on the side, on the right side, it just goes like it goes.
Chat,
faster.
we're going to check. Is it fast forward or is it like...
No, it's like 2x speed. It like.
All right, we're going to try it
faster.
literally
No,
this
I don't-
very
I'm
second.
Messing up my phrases.
I need to find a video.
Eunice, that Discord.
Wait. I just see something about Kojima and Marvel. What's this? Hideo Kojima's reaction to watching Captain America Brave New World. I watched Captain America Brave New World in IMAX. I vaguely remember Sam receiving the shield in Endgame, but when did he officially become Cap? Is it because I haven't seen the Falcon? Oh, so he's just saying I don't understand what's going on. Is he throwing shade? I need a video. This is not speeding up. Oh, I'm already at 2x. That's hilarious.
That's why. Put it on normal and then.
Yep. Oh my God. Eunice, you just made my life better.
Hey, you're welcome.
Thank you.
This is what I do. See, chat, I just improve people's lives by being in them. I'd
Yes,
like
you do.
To say,
In
not
the
gonna
context
my-
of soaking, the
Hey,
way you
no.
phrased that sentence was absolutely terrible. I make their life better by being in them.
Oh,
Yo, Eunice, somebody shake the bed.
I
Got to do it, chat. You got to do it.
Ribsy says, honestly, this live chat thing was a bit difficult at first because I'd only ever watched Tom and Drew at least 1.5 speed.
And so it was like, God damn,
You were probably
they slow. I get it. Chat, I'm not going to lie. I watch precious few things in real time. Shout out to my boy Bush Camp Dad. He is like the only person I watch at 1X in the lives. That's not the only person, but yeah, it is precious few people that I engage with at 1X.
RJ, yes, that is the same thing. That is the correct Discord, and that is the correct link. I can drop it again in the hashtag Tom Bilyeu Show channel. Vladikis is so correct. Job security. Look at that.
I've got a link specifically for the rapid iteration of Grok on gaming. I don't know if you've seen that yet, but definitely want to hit that.
Yeah.
Oh, the Doge thing. Is this a dick move?
Yes. We should include that for this economic redistribution thing. I feel like it's a circular conversation, so I'm trying to put my personal biases down. But like, what would be the takeaway from your perspective? And is it like a historical angle, or is it just because I feel like this becomes one of those, oh, rich guy is gonna have this take and poor guy is gonna have this take, and it becomes like.
I think what we do there is the Pixar thing. So Gary Economics says very interesting thing that everybody knows is true, which is we're living through this crazy moment of redistribution. What the fuck? Sound the alarm. And then we have to get to the solution, though. And the solution that he's putting forward seems thin at best. And if you look at what happens when you start doing that, then you run into a situation where you're lowering innovation, you're decreasing the rate at which the economy grows. And then I can lay my own biases on the table and say, remember, I'm optimizing for human flourishing, which I think is tied to innovation. This is that moment in AI, blah, blah, blah. And so everything will come together from my lens on the world, and also will spark debate with people who may be able to expand my vision of the actual solution. Because if somebody's got like a frame, because people will keep going back to like the 50s and they'll say, look, we had way higher taxes and things were better. In fact, you can jump in with your thing about during the French Revolution, same time period, the English really began creating opportunities that create for a thriving middle class, and the French don't. French lose their heads and the English don't. Now we'll have to acknowledge that historically we're very much at the headline level. The French Revolution is one of the, like, I don't even, when the fuck did it happen? Like 1880s, I think, but I could be off by 50 years. So anyway, be good to put our
1789 says
1789. So I was off by 100 years. Fucking hell. So yeah, so we'll definitely need to acknowledge the lack of deep. In fact, chat, if you guys know any books that I can and should read on the French Revolution, I am here for that. Leonidas, I don't consider us to be real journalists. So no, this is not what real journalism looks like. Real journalism is going to be a lot of deep research, going and asking people directly on the ground, all that stuff. I am not here for that.
I have a red light on.
Hit it.
I just wanted to know, are you guys actually going to go into talking about the Elon Musk thing, asking the employees what they did?
Very aggressively. Yep.
Okay. Then Luxie Bell, yes, they are going to talk about it, so I guess just stay tuned for the episode to be shot. Thank you.
Miggy, you are correct. The French Revolution is where we end if things continue as is. That is for sure.
Wave Rider T is just catching up and saying Shamu.
Was it Shamu? I don't think so.
Shamu's old.
Shamu's long dead.
Yeah.
No, but Shamu, you said who played Willie, right?
Yeah.
Was
that
that
sounds
Shamu?
familiar. I thought that was Shamu.
No, Shamu was the OG whale in SeaWorld that made SeaWorld famous. I don't think Shamu played.
Kiko.
Kiko. That's who I saw.
Kiko was Free Willy.
Yup.
Was Willy in Free Willy.
Yup.
Okay, 10:43.
Yeah,
I should
gonna have
take
to-
over and set up these links.
All right, we are now at the headphone phase here. So I'm going to headphone up, write this intro. Love you guys. Please enjoy the full episode, which will begin shooting by 11.
All right. Just me and you again, chat. And Drew.
Drew's locked in right now
Drew's
too.
also locked in. So just me and you, chat. Tom and Drew are locking in on the episode. They should be shooting in about 17 minutes, which means we have 17 minutes to chat, to talk about life, to think about what we're gonna do with our lives. Just sent a link on Discord. Thank you, SW me, SW I do. Thank you for sending the link. What area of Mexico is your fam from? My mom is from DF, or I guess I should say.
Did you see that will
CDMX
Doge
now.
induce a recession
No
link?
longer, no longer DF.
That's in my
My
Doge
dad
section.
is
It's the
from
third
a
one.
little town, like 2 hours outside of Guanajuato, and I honestly don't. Yeah, I wish I could tell you how to get there. I don't. I just remember my dad taking me. Listen, Grasshopper says they doing Google co-scientist. I sent another vid on it. Thank you. Vladikis saying, tell Drew he looks like he's about to say, Drake, I heard you like him young.
As if somebody brought up the Gary economics, and I was like, I brought up
That's
Gary
crazy.
economics.
How old is Drew? I will let him answer that if he wants for himself.
At a minimum on robotics, I want to do the mecha would be great just because I'm fucking obsessed. But there's one where the robot under big fear, the robot clearly wants smoke with the audience.
Rogan one, yeah.
That one scared me a bit. I was like, uh-oh. That's when you realize they're like
It really like
300 pounds
Yeah.
made of fucking metal. And if they even accidentally come at you,
Yeah.
you're fucking losing teeth. You're getting hurt. Like there's going to be some like
broken,
my home robot tripped and killed my dog. There's going to be shit like that for sure.
Saved for sure, Lyrith. Saved for sure. Are you guys going to talk about the Microsoft Quantum chip? I think they've already talked about it a little bit briefly.
Yeah, there's nothing like
there's
really
nothing-
there yet.
yeah.
It's soon, but not quite right now.
Not quite right now.
Can you turn it up, G, so I can hear it?
Secretary, as we wrap up, I've got to point out this Lindsay report. The Lindsay group
All right, I'll be right back.
can go to use a recession. As we see so many government jobs getting cut right now,
Sheesh, them fillers is doing no favors.
the job creation numbers and the overall macro story, as you also recently reached, the country has reached its next. These so many government jobs, Lindsay report, the Lindsay group came out with a report, can Doge induce a recession? As we see so many government jobs getting cut right now, do you worry that that cuts into the job creation numbers and the overall macro story, as you also recently reached, the country has reached its statutory debt limit, prompting the Treasury to implement extraordinary measures to prevent default? You're dealing with so much, and Doge is cutting jobs. Does that cut into growth?
Look, Maria, I think that if we have a bloated government and if that gets cut down, then government spending will go down. Many times on your show in the past 10 months, I've talked about reprivatizing the economy, and that's what we're going to have to do. We've seen what I would call this orgiastic government spending with the past administration. We're running 6.7, 6.9% deficit to GDP, which we've never had when we're not in a recession, not in a war, and we're going to bring that down. And so as the government employment comes down, private sector will not be crowded out anymore. All the jobs created by the Biden, not all, but the 70, 85% of the jobs created by the Biden administration were government jobs, government adjacent. They crowded out the private sector.
I'm
The
trying
government
to catch up on when he actually wanted to say, but they can. You want the link?
Well, they're saying, who is this talking?
Oh, they can.
We can't see it.
Here it comes. Eunice will drop it in the chat for you.
And shot by Esco says, Drew
When
needs
you
some
do these
nicotine
reviews,
gum.
When you do these reviews, do you want me to also show what you're looking at? Ideally, I mean, at my vision, we would save it for the actual episode, but I don't know if you want to show it in the print.
The video.
What you're looking at exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. You could. In this one, I was just trying to scrub to get the time code, because I'm setting up the rundown for the episode.
Thank you, Eric.
So some behind the mirror producing for you guys. A lot of times we have a spreadsheet that I don't want to share with you that has all these links. And as we go through all these links, I typically organize them, pull the time codes up, get them at the right 2x speed, 1.5 speed. So that way, as we're going through the episode, we don't have that dead time of me trying to pull something up. So with this specific one, I was just setting it up. That's why I was not prepared.
Drew, look at the chat real quick.
Oh, I gotta find it. Hold on.
It's hidden. It's not. It's held for review.
Oh, hold on. I'm not on that one. Dang,
Oh,
too many tabs. Hold on.
That's crazy.
Sheesh.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
See, chat's too comfortable, man. You guys.
That is too comfortable. I'm gonna get the what they call it,
The blicky.
the blicky back out on you guys. You guys better calm down. Lab Experiment says Frog Week, Bird Week, Shark Week. Eunice, you have a lot of shopping to do, girl. Get busy. Get busy. Yep.
When is Shark Week? That's still like a thing?
I think it is still a thing, but how many weeks can you have? A year? Is it like it's an annual thing, right?
How many weeks can you have in a
So
year
nice.
dedicated to sharks? At least 52, maybe. No.
One shark a week?
Are there that many sharks? Probably.
There has to be.
Is there a Frog Week though, or were you being like serious? Because
they're-
Shark Week is once like I think it's like 10 days or something like that.
Well, they're talking about for my outfits. So like I'll have a different theme each week for outfits. So like I have a frog themed outfit week, a bird themed outfit week.
And you could go to like mythical creatures. You got like a Game of Thrones dragon, some Pokemon on
Never
there.
seen Game of Thrones.
Really?
Oh, the gas let out. I've seen
I feel like you would be a Game of Throneser.
I've seen that episode with the Red Wedding,
It's a good one.
and I've seen the first episode of the last season and the last episode of the last season. And that is
Unicorn.
it.
Did you see that unicorn reel? If unicorns aren't real, why is it the state animal of like? Oh, it was such.
I think we should also get something across is that I don't really go on social media either.
Oh, hold on. It was such.
Oh
a good
yes. I'll write it down. I'll write it down. Thank you, G.
You can still like see your Yeah, there it is. It was such an amazing video. It made me laugh out loud.
You guys should try to get Bob Lazar on.
You ever seen it?
If unicorns are real, why do you need a permit to hold one in Michigan? Because people were catching you.
There's no way this is making it to my algorithm. I'll tell you that much. There's no way this is making it.
I don't even know how we got to my algorithm.
there's
I was like,
no
wait,
way.
what? I need to share this. Hold on. It was so funny.
There's no way. Let's see. Never gone into Shark Week. Don't get the obsession. I feel like it's, why not? Sure. Celebrate them. Tom, read my last comment. Tom is locked in. He's got his headphones in. He's writing the intro for the show that they should be recording in about 8 minutes. 8 minutes. T-minus 8 minutes, hopefully. Sharks are just roided dolphins. A crazy statement.
That's hilarious. Lyrith, we definitely reached out to Asmongold, waiting to hear back. We're scheduling some stuff.
How about you guys go to his channel and tell him to come to here?
That would be
right?
awesome.
Like, send in the blickies, send in the troops to go to his channel. Tom, give me your top 10 anime list. We can ask Tom to write it out.
He's gonna say Neon Genesis. He's gonna say My Hero Academia. He's gonna say One Piece.
He's gonna say One Piece. You think he'd say Attack on Titan?
He's gonna say Attack on Titan. That's
I
4.
Good one.
Those are the 4 I hear him talk about most often.
I don't think Demon Slayer's on there, personally.
He has all the collectibles on there.
Should I just go in that room, take a picture of it, look at it?
There's every manga, so I don't know if
Every
it's.
manga's on there.
If you guys
Yeah,
didn't know,
he's Berserk in there. He
yeah,
hasn't finished it. It's crazy.
he never talks about. I don't remember hearing him talk about Berserk.
Let's see. Eunice, your wardrobe just needs to be from a Film Lot's costume department. I would be down if anybody could give me a free Film Lot costume department wardrobe. Let's do it. Sharks are great from a distance, and AI is the new shark. Maybe I have a really big fear of getting bit by a shark, although I feel like the risk is low. Sailor Moon, baby. Sailor Moon, yes. I have, you can't see it, but I have Sailor Jupiter on the back of my phone. Love her so much.
Sailor Moon is classic. I ain't
Sailor
remember
Moon.
that.
Yeah. Fighting evil by the moonlight. You know? No? No?
I was gonna let
Okay,
you have it.
got
Oh,
it.
this is your moment.
Got it. You're the karaoke king, though, so you should be singing along. Let's see. Let's talk about the new James Bond movies. We're not doomed if they get Timothy Chalamet, Matt. That's all I'm gonna say.
Wait, could we go to the screen for a second? That was just a delay. Perfect. Okay, never mind. Event Horizon, Robotics Round Robin, probably Jeffrey Sachs, then Doge.
You guys, you're seeing it live. Drew is on the document.
See, you guys don't want access to this.
See? Look at that. Drew's moving around, clicking stuff. You can see Tom and I's faces in there. That's crazy. Look at. You're seeing it live. This is what you wanted? This seems like way too much info. Yes, we do. LMAO. Can I become an editor on the document? Absolutely not. I will put my foot down on that one. We want ha 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 ha. I will help you, smiley face. That smiley face seems menacing. Drew is right. We don't want this. See, Drew is right.
I be trying to protect y'all, chat.
Drew from The Price is Right. But get it like Drew Carey? Because he's the...
Yeah.
Get it? Yeah. Oh, you are on Spotify. Awesome. They saw your screen.
I'm not on Spotify.
They saw your Spotify.
I don't subscribe to Spotify.
You don't subscribe to Spotify.
I use Tidal.
Someone's on... You're on Tidal. You're one of the 0.0001% who uses Tidal still?
I guess I am.
That's crazy. Okay.
It was a Jay-Z exclusive, then a Beyonce exclusive, and I never went back.
I went to a Beyonce concert once.
Was Jeffrey Sachs thing at the European Union Parliament?
Yes.
Thank you.
Also, she spoils us because I went to Renaissance and it was 3 hours. And then when I went to that Killers concert, they were singing for like an hour and 25 minutes.
Yeah.
I was like,
I know.
I just got here. My commute here was longer.
commute was
was longer than the concert.
Yeah. You know, I one time for New Year's Eve went to go see Red Hot Chili Peppers for the New Year's Eve show. They were 40 minutes late, played like 4 songs, said, Happy New Year, everybody, goodbye.
Sheesh.
And I was like, and then our car got towed that night too. So I just, Happy New Year for sure.
Happy New Year.
That was crazy.
Time check is 10:56.
It is 10:56, chat. Thank you, Eric. That means that they should be starting to record in 4 minutes. Let's hold them all accountable. And Lyra said Drew is the gatekeeper and protector. We have William coming into the... Yep, just walked right in front of the camera. No big deal, William. Thank you. William, you want to come say hi? He said 1 second, everybody. GPT 4.5 is coming out today or tomorrow. Listen, Grasshopper, do you have this link for that? An actual... Is that like a tweet? He said in a tweet or something?
What happened? What's happened?
GPT 4.5 is coming out today or tomorrow.
Somebody been asking about Project Kaizen. Can you break it down for us? 2 people asked about it.
Oh, I see it. Project Kaizen is out and available. It is free to play, and you are more than welcome to go download it. It is still being built, as you guys know. Tom has mentioned it. So we are currently adding on to it, fixing bugs, adding new features, all that stuff. We're currently getting ready for the next, I guess you would say, phase of it, or the next iteration of it. And when Tom is ready, this is all on Tom, when Tom is ready, he will allow you guys to play test it. Project Kaizen is a game. Project Kaizen is Tom's game, specifically. It is not all about killing. It is what Tom calls MIBAs, mini battle arenas. So there's a bunch of different mini game modes that you can play against people, against them, beat them. So there's like the classic like TDM. There's a new game called Color Control where you try to color the tiles, and there is like another game mode where you duel people. They're constantly adding things to it. So go check it out. Lyrith says, I love this game. Oh, thanks, Lyrith. Nick says, does Tom answer questions in the Discord? Tom himself has not popped into the Discord, no. But I do read the questions and links that are being sent in the Discord. What platforms can you play on? It is on PC. It is on PC only for Project Kaizen.
Oof. You now have the intro. I need to read it in my head, make sure that we're good to go. You should look at it, make sure I didn't leave anything out that you wanted to cover. But we are now, every minute that we delay is less minute of final episode.
Also, 10:55, 1:55.
Here we are, folks. We're counting down. They're going to be recording soon, and you know what that means. That means that they're not really going to pay attention to chat.
All right.
And they're going to be locked in.
With me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I got that. Eric, if I could trouble you for a little bit more water, please.
Have you all been on water?
I would say yes for that as well, please. Hey, I'm definitely gonna try it. I'll try it after this though. How was it? Yeah. How long is that flight?
5 hours.
Got you.
We're 2 hours behind, or ahead, sorry. So
Yeah. You need to know they're just staring at you, right?
I don't want to interrupt you guys, but I was going to say, Drew's talking to G on the side. Shout out to Drew on the outfit matching game, by the way.
Aw.
That's true. Drew, you look kind of like you have a Neapolitan ice cream outfit on.
I love Neapolitan ice cream, so
Sorry.
that works out perfectly.
I'm the guy off screen cutting.
That's Herson.
Excuse
more-
me, technical
one more-
glitches. I just got back from vacation, and a lot has changed, so it's gonna take a little learning curve, but we'll get there. I promise you.
You guys can
Okay,
rely
I'm ready.
on
All right, we're
Herson.
ready.
All right. You guys, I'll see you later.
Chat, much love. Enjoy the live episode if you get down like that. Otherwise, we will be dropping the edited version of this episode today at 2 p.m. Pacific time. So we are now mostly and soon to be entirely on a same day format. So we will prep for it live with you guys in the morning and then release it later that day on the YouTube channel in an edited format. Okay. Eric, we have a hard stop at 11:55. 11:55. No matter what. If it even means that we don't get to things in the intro, it means what it means. 11:55. We must stop.
Nope. I'm trying to get my last bit of juice. This, I have no idea.
We don't have time to fix that right now, but I accept that that's bad. You can use some gaffer tape if you want to pin it down. That's about your only real-time option.
Just how long the cable is on that end.
Woof. Did I miss a good that's what she said? I missed a chat. She said to soak it.
It's so good.
Gotta soak it.
I am ready.
Have you ever done the
Soak? No.
sit? No. Sit. You're like, no. I don't need someone to shake the bed. You sit with your legs folded, presumably, and you like touch your knees to your significant other. So you're both sitting like really close.
Like crisscross applesauce.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you stare into each other's eyes without looking away, not even once, for 5 minutes.
No.
It feels like the sort of intellectual equivalent of soaking. Like you're just there, like gazing in their eyes. Like there's something super weird. Imagine soaking and doing that. That'd be so fucking uncomfortable. Oh my God. Mormon kids are on another level. Do they look at each other? Fuck, that's an interesting question. What position do people soak in? I would assume missionary.
You have to look missionary.
You don't have to, but it would be
awkward if you're
be
soaking.
so awkward. Soaking in missionary is peak awkward.
It's been in soaking like a doggy type situation.
No, because then at least you're not staring at each other at the same time. That'd be so
Resting on
fucking
our
weird.
back.
All right. Well, this just got weird, chat. All right. Well, no need to remind us. Big energy. Soaking gets you there every time. Okay. It's dark today, Eric. Is that something you can control? Yes. It's not the end of the world, so no big deal. If we need to, there we go. That is shockingly different. Hopefully that's not causing you any problems. Okay, we ready?
Ready.
Here we go.